professional. Even if you feel like you're going to be somebody, it's a certain decorum that you have and a certain professionalism that you exhibit when you are, saying what it is that you're going to do and professing how good you think that you are. Even the Floyd Mayweather, when he was, being so flamboyant and things like that, he did it in a certain way. Roy Jones, you know what I mean? Like, they did it in a certain way where it wasn't ratchet. It wasn't, quote unquote, what they say is ghetto. You know what I mean? And we need to get rid of that portion of it. Also, the sideshow stuff where you got dudes attacking each other, and that just shows a lack of, professionalism. That's some old Butler. Remember Butler hit the dude after the fight? That was like appalling. Like, you like, man, that's messed up. Nowadays that just goes viral,
Mm-hmm.
So we need to knock the nonsense off, man. Get back to doing things the right way. Again, man, if you like that good sports talk as far as this boxing is concerned, hit the like and sub. Love to see you each and every 2:00 on Sundays. I don't know, Vale, man. We got to take a look at this schedule too, because the schedule, like I said, is tumbleweeds, man. So we're gonna have to, figure out something moving forward. But anywho, our topic of the day is going to be Jermell Charlo. He's coming back. He's calling out all of the names. Crawford, Ennis. He's calling out Errol. There ain't no friends in this sport of boxing. I know that you mentioned the fact that he may be getting a shot at the title. It's not necessarily confirmed. They don't know a date if they are going to go in that direction. But first and foremost, what do you think about the call out for all of these guys at 154 pounds?
Yeah, I kind of like that Jermell is going this route as far as it's showing that he still kind of wants to smoke. And he always been a guy that wants to smoke, regardless of whether good or bad. I know you mentioned somebody he didn't call out. We'll get to that later. You
can get to it now. We ain't gotta wait.
That. But but he had but I know you have. It was weird how not weird, but it was tactful how he did it. Showing a lion chewing on certain things like a fish, which I assume was Errol Spence. The funny one was the giraffe that I assume was Fundora. Then there was a pair of boots, and that's Boots Ennis. I can't remember what was for Ortiz. I know that they're saying that he called out Ortiz and also Terrence Crawford. Hey, I mean, any of those fights are decent fights. At least he didn't call out like a Keith Thurman or Erickson Lubin, somebody like that. And no hate on them. It's at least he went for the top guys. There's one name, but it wasn't on there was Murder Zaliev. But I don't know what it could be more, but I don't know what it is with that guy that nobody likes to say his name. But
we don't know. I think we do know why he looks very dangerous. You know what I mean? There's not enough tape on him, but with the tape that you do have, he whooping on Tim Tszyu like he stole something.
Yeah, but Jermell just fought Canelo. That's top dog status. A few years ago, 2 years ago, and then you have Murder Zaliev. Not terrorism. Tim Tszyu just got beat down by Fedora. So the jury is kind of still out with Murder Zaliev, but the eyes tells you what to see. Like he basically took Tim out of there fast, wasn't even close. But yeah, hopefully
it looked like a middle schooler fighting a grown man. That's what it looked like. So that was the problem that you're gonna face when you're dealing with Murtazalia. I want to welcome Shelton to the fray. What's going on, Shelton? How we doing, good brother?
My brothers, man. I was stuck yesterday. Great day of football. Football is back. Football is king.
It's back today too. You gonna check that Notre Dame game out tonight?
I'm watching both of them. I'm getting ready right now.
South Carolina. Yes, sir.
But the thing is, man, number one, only thing that scared me yesterday in boxing was how hard that MMA guy hit that other MMA. That was nasty. That was not cool. Them dudes need to stop trying to box, man, because they're gonna hurt each other. Nah, this dude here. I heard about some dude named Salt Poppy getting beat up. I don't know who the fuck that is. Excuse me. I don't know who he is, but I heard he got beat up by somebody else in MMA. And I know that one dude I do know was Luke Rockhold, and he needs to stop because he almost,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
He almost
about.
got killed yesterday. Yeah, he almost got killed yesterday. That dude hit him so hard.
At this rate, something's gonna happen because even the situation, last week when old boy was beating up that fake wrestler, what's called son.
Rampage son.
Roger
That was cool. Yeah, that was bad. Yeah, that wasn't bad.
I thought he got him up out of there. The way he was hitting while he was
cool.
Nah, it wasn't. But getting to my man.
I think that kid got some anger issues. Yeah, let's get to my man right here. Anger issues, Mel.
Mm-hmm.
Anger issues, Mel. Yeah, Mel talks a lot, man. He talks a whole lot. He talks real good. But the last time I seen Mel, he was running like a girl. So I don't want to hear nothing from Mel. I want to see you do something.
Shout out to all the girls that watch the show, though. But keep going.
Yeah, he was running like a girl, man. He was running like a female. he I'm not gonna use the word because I know you got Spotify things going on, but you know what he did. So I can't get that out of my head, man. You laid down for that dude. I don't care what you say. You laid down for that dude, man. You were scared. So you need to show me that you want to fight somebody.
Well, he's saying it, but here's the thing. Let me ask you.
I say a lot of things. I say that I'm the best looking man since Denzel Washington. I don't mean the truth. I say a lot of stuff. Show me what you're going to do. Because what you showed me is that you're a coward and you're scared of people. That's what you showed me. You're only as good as your last performance. Yeah.
See, the thing is, if we break this down, we unpackage this. See, I can't hold now. I would agree in his last fight that it seemed like he waved the white flag in terms of putting himself in danger. And again, I can only go based on what I see. I can't specifically say, but that's
no. That's what I'm saying. Based on what you see, it looks like he waved the white flag. That's what you're saying.
Exactly what I'm saying. So now the point that I'm trying to make, though, in addition to what it is that I'm saying, is that I saw that. So that calls for red flags in terms of who else would you do that against? The saying is a coward dies 1,000 deaths, but someone like myself has 1,000 lives. You understand what I'm saying? So with that also being said, but I do know this about me is the fact that
you deal with this on a daily basis, Mel. Yeah,
so again, in addition to him showing that, I do know that Mel made a lot of fights against guys who were the best at 154 at the time. So I think two things can be true. We saw that 2 years ago against Canelo, a bigger guy jumping up 2 weight class. But I do know at 154, he wasn't ducking any smoke prior to the Canelo fight. So I can listen to what it is he's saying and kind of believe him when he says that he wants these guys. Let me ask you this question, starting with you, Vale. If the landscape at 154, how it is now, if it was like that when he was the reigning undisputed champion, do you think that he would still reign as the undisputed champion? And if so, how long? Who would have, possibly gotten, Jermell at that time back then?
I think it's possible for him to do it. I think it's harder. Not saying that I can see him beating any of those guys, I can see him beating any of those guys, but beating them one by one is a lot harder, when you're going one by one and collecting. It's one thing to beat those guys one by one. It's another thing to, Sebastian Fedora has all the belts. I'm fighting Sebastian Fedora and get all the belts.
So I think he'll beat Fedora. I would have,
exactly.
Yeah.
But Fedora is a hard fight to fight after you done fought. You know what I'm saying? But
let me put it like this, because you remember he was one of the only guys who actually was getting the belts from other people. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that would be remove the guys, because Banana Rosario to me was kind of like he just beat J-Rock, but at the same time he got like a glass body and chin too, and I thought that was kind of easy work. But at the same time, he did have the belt or two, right? But he also beat other guys for belts. Say he had to take that same road and he has to go through Fedora. He has to go to Murtazaliev. He has to go through, You know what I'm saying? Like he has to pick these dudes off. And he has to defend it against Ortiz.
Yeah, that's
so.
Hard
so let's say, for instance, he got Madrimov, Fundora, then he got Murtazaliev. Any order that you want to put him in, and then he got to defend it against Ortiz.
That's hard to do, but again, I mean, if you want greatness, it comes at a cost. So I'm not going to say it's impossible.
What do you think would happen? Is what I'm saying. Not to say if it's impossible or not. What do you think?
I think he loses one of those fights, but I mean, he loses one of those fights. But however, I mean, there's nothing that says that he can't. Let's say he loses one of those fights, but one of those guys is with all the belts. He can still beat that one person for all the belts.
Talk to me, Show, because he's conflicting and convoluting what it is I'm saying. What do you?
There are many different scenarios can happen.
Yeah, he's scared to say it. Look, let me say it for you, since you're scared to say it. Mm-hmm. If the landscape back then was what it is now, he doesn't even become undisputed. Somebody beats him along the way.
Okay. But does that person come undisputed?
Nah, we're not even worrying about that. We're talking about Mel. Mel is the topic of discussion. We don't know that. But so here.
But I know Mel. I know with the guys that's out there now, I know I would bet the house Mel don't run through all them guys. I bet the house.
It'd be very challenging. See, the thing is, I'm looking at Mel because Mel showed. I love him because of the fact that when he was, willing to take on all the smoke, because his brother was a little bit less, he was a little bit more reluctant. But with Mel, he had like smoke coming out of his ears in terms of wanting to fight the best dudes. What caused for pause for me is like when I see him against like Castaño, like that first fight, at certain points to me, he didn't have answers and things like that. So he has a few chinks in his armor, but at the same time, the other thing I like about him is he holds his power throughout the course of a fight. So even if he's down a little bit, you still got to make sure your antennas are up, because that dude at that point prior to the Canelo fight, he still was gunning for a victory and he had the tools to take you out. So that's what I was thinking. But I think stylistically, some of those guys would definitely give him a run for his money, because the division is just tougher now. Like it's way tougher now than it was, during that time. Even though, because see, the division was tough at one point when you had Lara, you had before they had moved on, and then his brother was in the division. So it was, and Canelo was in the division. It was stacked then, but a lot of those guys were not fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? Some of them were, some of them wasn't. But then he was like the last man standing out of that first group. Like he was one of the last ones. Stuff. Even Andrade was there, but then guys just wasn't fighting each other. I think then it probably was more talented then, but you just never had the mixing of the guys facing each other. What do you think about that? Which when you had all of those dudes there, was that more talented than it is now, or was it about the same?
I think it's probably more talented right now than it was back then.
With Lara, remember, you had Lara, Andrade, you had Canelo, you had
Andrade is not dangerous.
You think those? Nah, I don't know.
Well, you killed it. You killed it. Well, you killed it because you killed it when you said the truth. It doesn't matter who was there; they wouldn't fight each other, so it doesn't matter.
No, it does matter if you're looking at the division at the time as far as the talent that was in the division. I'm not saying as far as they barely doing it. They're not fighting Murtazaliev. So, I mean, what are we talking about?
But they all scared of him. I don't know why, but they all scared of him. And he been telling us for 2 years that they scared of him, and we thought he was just talking. Now we see they all scared of him. They don't want to fight him. But I guess when they see what he did to Tim Tszyu, they're like, oh, no, I'm good. I'm good. And I got a 10-pound rehydration clause. Oh, no.
Yeah, you know what
they're going to have to just go ahead and he's going to have to get a promoter and have him overpay somebody to come in there and get bashed on. Because ain't nobody getting in there unless they get a whole bunch of money.
Yeah, he's getting older, too. He's like 31. Yeah, he's about 31 years old. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to wait him out. Especially with that, if they fight for another belt, then they wouldn't have to do the clause, messing with them. But we'll see, man. Shout out to Mel. Who's the most likely guy that you see Mel facing out of the list of people that you said, Bill?
I would say out of that list, probably I can see him fighting Spence. I can see him doing that. I don't know why I can see that happening and making it some type of story. Like, yeah, I'm fighting somebody that that's suing my trainer.
What about you, Sheldon? Who's the likely comeback?
I think we're gonna fight Ramos or somebody like that. I don't think Spence is ever gonna fight again.
I hope you're right, man. Because at this point, again, I bring Sugar Ray Leonard's name up a lot. He might as well call out Sugar Ray at this point if you're gonna fight old.
Yeah, exactly.
He looked
Spence is never gonna fight again. I'm sorry.
And I hope you're right. But if he is willing to fight, the only way I would hope those brothers would tango at this point, based on what I saw with Errol and Crawford and getting pummeled like he did, and having a 2-year layoff, fighting in a new weight class, fighting somebody who knows you because y'all been in training together, as opposed to you doing that big fish. Or if you're going to do it, the only reason is if it's an agreement between the guys, like we can make some money together, and then whoever wins can move on and put themselves back in the spotlight. But to me, it would have to be an agreement between those guys, as opposed to just picking on somebody who's coming off a 2-year layoff who got pummeled. Now, I know some people say, well, he got beat up by Canelo, but at the same time, he didn't take that type of punishment against Canelo, and he's returning back to his natural weight class, as opposed to Spence, who will be coming up in weight for the first time. But anyway, man, let's go ahead and keep it moving. You got your boy Boots, man. Is Boots, the question here is Boots a world champion or just a sparring partner? Tim Bradley blasted star fighters' lack of having something between his legs that most males have. Now, here's the thing. Well, you're going to go ahead and answer that. What do you think about this? Because to me, when I look at the fact that, him gloating and bragging about kind of like, stunning a little bit about, training with Canelo, I think that it's more so something. See, when you don't stand on a solid foundation, you start picking and doing certain things just to go ahead and take the focus off of what it is that you're not doing. The fact that I'm fighting Lima, as opposed to all of these other guys who want to smoke with me, now I can say, oh, I'm training with Canelo, and then everybody's talking about that. Well, who's getting the better of each other in training? All that type of stuff. To me, that's what it is. But do you think? I think it's a good thing to a certain degree, but I also see cons to it. Do you think that it's more of a good thing for Boots to be in camp with Canelo or do you think it's more cons to it?
I think it's a great thing. The only thing the only thing that's bad about it is that it's public. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not like boxers, boxers don't come up, never train or spar with champions. They do it all the time. But they never talk about it.
Give me some examples that you're talking about, because I want to see that. I want to see that.
Like Tommy Hearns and James Toney. You know what I'm saying?
Would that be the equivalent of this though?
Yeah, I mean they sparred together. I mean, Errol Spence and Floyd Mayweather. You didn't hear about it. You heard rumors about what happened, but nobody was saying, I'm sparring with Floyd Mayweather. Look at me. They do all that. So, yeah.
Who were the guys that Floyd sparred that outside of maybe, I don't know if Berto, if he sparred with Berto, I just know they had like a history. Mm-hmm. Like who were the guys that he boxed against in training that he actually fought or could possibly fight?
What do you mean?
Because Floyd was in a situation where he was fighting the bigger names. Errol Spence wasn't going to necessarily fight Floyd Mayweather. He was more so. Remember,
Boots is not going to fight Canelo. Boots is not going to fight Canelo.
That wouldn't be something that would be on his radar if Canelo's going to stick around a couple more years. That could be a potential matchup for Canelo.
Canelo is already 2 weight classes above Boots. Just because Crawford doing it doesn't mean that Boots is going to do it. Boots fights at 154. They're not even close to each other's weight class. Okay. So I look at like.
Let me ask you this question, Bill. What other guy who was supposed to be the man the guy who was supposed to be projected as the next big thing, that he decided to do something like this?
I mean, not this late in their career when it advanced, but Roy Jones sparred with Sugar Ray Leonard. Floyd Mayweather sparred with Pernell Whitaker. They didn't gloat about it, or it wasn't a front page, newsletter about it.
What's the difference between Floyd Mayweather? So it's a lot of dynamics that's going with this issue here. One, you have a big fight that's going to take the biggest fight, legacy fight that's going to take place. You got one guy who's truly he embodies his culture, Mexican pride. At one point, even though he ended up fighting Munguia, he said that he didn't want to even fight Mexicans and all that type of stuff. He fights on Mexican Independence Day. He fights on Cinco de Mayo each year. So he holds that in high regard, right? You have Crawford, who he's facing. That's another layer of it too. See, for me personally, it would be hard for me to get involved in this situation at this particular moment. I can see him sparring Canelo if it's just he want to get some good sparring in, and maybe another opponent. Not that I have any type of relationship with Terrence Crawford. Not that Terrence Crawford is even that type of guy who even cares about that sort of thing, right? But somebody, like I said, personally for me, that would factor in as well as far as the decision to do this at this particular time. The other thing is, it's hard for me to see somebody who's supposed to be the next guy. He really supposed to be the guy or one of the guys that is happy about going to spar with another dude who's supposed to be at that level where I feel like you get to a certain point where you can bring dudes in that you want to, get sparring with, as opposed to you having to be the one who has to go to this other guy at this stage of your career, around 30 years of age, and they putting all of this, I couldn't see like a guy like Roy Jones or even Floyd, like if they were going to do something like that, they would have the guys come to them. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking this. I don't know. I just think it's a lot of layers to this. That
I just know Floyd was going to be the next guy, and he sparred with Pernell Whitaker. I know that much.
That's different. It's hard to explain the difference between that when you have Floyd Mayweather. Sweet Pea was the number one guy pound for pound. Nobody really. Floyd was just coming out of the Olympics and things like that. He wasn't. It took Floyd until he was maybe years later before he can start barking up the De La Hoyas and Hattons and all of those type of things. He was still in that developmental stage of trying to prove like I'm him. Like that was so early. What year? He was like 20, 21. This is like 96. This guy is a.
So what you trying to say? What you trying to say, Wilton? What is on your mind, man? Spit up.
Again, I don't know how to explain it any better. The two things, like I said, that I just think that to be gloating about this is at this particular juncture of your career, I think it says a lot about your career to me, but you can do whatever it is that you want to do. And by all means, that's what he's doing. But the other thing that I'm mentioning is, see, I couldn't do it from this standpoint, not right now, not for this particular fight, not that I have any direct relationship with Terrence Buck Crawford or anything like that, but knowing Canelo is somebody who's prideful about his Mexican heritage. What are you proud of? Like, what is that saying about this guy who said just 2 or 3 years ago, before he fought Munguia, he decided to fight Munguia, he was like to the point where I don't even want to fight any more Mexicans. I don't want to do. So he's saying all of this type of stuff. How am I going to help support him? Is my question.
What's that got to do with boots?
See, what you got to understand. What you got to understand. What was this? You from a different era than him. The era that Boots is from, everybody wants to go along to get along. That's just the reality of the situation. It's a different era. Where we come from, the era you come from, the era I come from, that would have never happened. I'm not helping that dude fight this dude. I'm not helping that dude. But they don't think like that.
I get it.
They don't think like that.
I get it. But my thing is, so Bill, what did you say? What does that have to do with Boots?
Yeah, because all you do, if somebody willing to pay you to spar, he's like, okay, I'll spar. And I'll learn. Okay. I'll get paid to learn.
So the money is always going to be the determining factor for you. It's nothing as far as pride within yourself.
Somebody pay me to teach me something at work. Oh, I'll take it.
Okay, then that's the difference between me and you. I couldn't do it. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just certain things. Money don't always factor in. It's certain things that I can do within my profession.
If I gotta learn something at work
that I don't do, and I can learn some things too in addition to that. But if I'm gonna do something and I know that this is going to continue the status quo, and the status quo isn't going to be something that's going to lead to a constructive result of what I deem is necessary and what I deem to be more of value and something that's going to it's going to help others as opposed to helping mine. I can't do that. Like, I'm like, nah, I can't. Nah, you got it, man. But we might be able to work something else out in a different situation, at a different time, but not for this particular opponent. Like, because again, I'm just helping you. Canelo win this fight. Guess what they're gonna be doing in Mexico? And that's gonna be help supporting him. You understand what I'm saying? So, but everybody's different.
Somebody asked me about this thing earlier. Somebody asked me about the same thing, and I said, look. This is how I feel about it. Number one, if you really want to break it down to brass tacks, Boots don't owe Bud nothing. He can do whatever he want to do. He got paid to do it. He did it. But on a second note, this is more important to me. You can get Boots in camp. You can dig up Eddie Futch. You can go dig up Marvin and Mike McCallum. It ain't going to help you. This guy's going to beat you. You don't have the skills to beat this guy. He's going to beat you. No matter what you do.
That's a whole nother conversation. And like I said, dudes can do whatever it is that they want to do, and they can have help other people out. But did you
hear Bud's response? Did you hear Bud's response?
I heard it.
I heard what. Listen, that's not what.
Me.
That's not the
you
point.
Better. You better go get it.
That's not the point I'm making. But again, let me make my last point. He's gonna do what it is he want to do. Obviously, Bud is gonna have his response to it. Obviously, I'm just saying from a pride standpoint, where is that? I ain't gonna say where it is, but
he ain't got none. He ain't got none.
So some people would think a little bit deeper in terms of certain opportunities that are available to you, but they'll stand on something more principled. That's all I'm saying. Now, as far as whether or not it's going to help, if it's not going to help, I think that regardless of Boots there, this is just confirming the fact that Bud's going to sleep. That's all.
Shelton, let me ask you a question. Would you rather pay to learn that work? Would you rather pay to learn that work or get paid to learn that work?
That ain't the question, man.
You'd always rather to get paid. You'd always rather to get paid, no doubt. But see, I get where Wilton's coming from. The era he comes from, the era I come from. I can't help that dude against this dude. Now I can help you against Munguia. I can help you against John Ryder. I can help you against anybody. But I'm not helping you against him. I can't do that.
I wouldn't be able to do it. But again, everybody's different, man, and everybody don't see that.
Yeah, everybody's different. Everybody's different. I couldn't do that. Where the era I come from, you couldn't. He could do that. He could do that in my era, but you can't come back to the hood after you do that.
Nah, man, come on, dog. But anyway,
you can't come back to the hood. Don't come back here.
Yeah, do your thing. Yeah, it did thing, and then like I say, I'm putting my money on Canelo about maybe it's 8. 9.
Yeah, dude, put it on there. Hey, look, put the house on it.
Nah, I ain't gonna put the house on.
And I got a room for you. When you lose, you can stay with me.
No, listen,
you can stay with me.
I'll be honest with you. Canelo, I was watching the Canelo Lara fight earlier today. I was watching the highlights. He's gonna have trouble with. He's gonna have some trouble. Bud stand that left hand stand.
Let me enlighten you on something, brother. Let me stop you right there and enlighten you on something. Lara is not Bud. No way, shape, form, or fashion.
You're right, because Lauren resume is a lot better. But anyway, let's
No. Laura ain't fought shit but Canelo. Laura ain't fought shit but Canelo. Come on now. You don't remember the dudes Laura fought. Laura fought Cornflake. Find me a Cornflake. Find me a Cornflake. Danny
Garcia, blowing up 140-pounder Danny Garcia.
You mean Danny Garcia, the dude that ducked Bud 3 times? That Danny Garcia, that dude?
The one that beat Bud in the amateurs. That's the one I'm talking about.
Oh my God, he beat Bud 20 years ago when they was kids. Wilton, you better than that. Don't hang your hat on that, brother.
Yes, sir.
Don't hang your hat on that, brother. Don't hang your hat on that, brother.
What I'm talking about. Let me go ahead and pull up my
You can't remember the people that
real
fought.
dream.
And find me a cornflake on the resume. Find me a cornflake.
Look at that, man. Canelo.
Who is them dudes?
You got Canelo. Castillo. You understand what I'm saying? Big Herb. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
Who is Castillo?
That's better than anybody in the butt. And then last but not least, Danny Swift Garcia.
Oh my God!
Let me keep it moving, man. We ain't got time to be fooling around with these.
Hey, I just need Wilton to go. Hey, look. Real talk though. This is all mess aside. Real talk. If you want to give some money away, man, just give it to me, bro. Just give it to me.
Listen,
you ain't got to give it to Vegas. Just give it to me.
Once I earn a little bit off of this Canelo putting him to sleep, that nice quill action. You understand me? Then I go ahead. I got you, man. I cash up you a little bit of my earnings, but I won't be celebrating that. I was smoking cigars over this trade, the Green Bay trade. Now, I don't know what I'm gonna do that day.
Oh my God! Oh, Jerry, your ego. Y'all don't want. Hey, this might put them over the hump, bro. This might put them over the hump.
Listen,
this might put them over the hump. But here's the thing. Now, here's the one question before we get to the sidetrack. Here's one question. We know Michael Parsons is a great player in Dallas' system. What would he be like in Green Bay's system?
That man run like a 4-3, man. Just let him run around and catch people. That's all. But anyway, man, Anthony Joshua got a 17-month absence from the ring. He's in search of an opponent. They mentioned Yoka, you know what I mean? But also I was reading an article where these are some other options for Anthony Joshua to make his return bout. I don't know the top guy, but we do know Ricardo Torres. We know Herkovich, Deontay Wilder. You got Efe Ajagba, and then you got guys of as well. Who would you?
That's the Russian. That's the Russian.
If you can choose an opponent for Wilder. Matter of fact, out of those guys, again, I don't know the top guy. I don't even know Giasov like that. I think I've seen him before, but I don't know him like that. As far as Torres, Herkovich, Wilder, Ajagba, who would you favor, AJ, over, and who you think probably give him his biggest test out of those four right there?
Out of those four,
oh, I got my boy Ty backstage.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah. I mean,
Ty, come on back, man.
Everything that he said in the last year, I think he feels he's confident enough to take on Deontay Wilder, and I think that's important for him mentally. Because if he's not going in there and fight confident, Wilder gonna put him to sleep. So I think that's a fight that'll make the most money for him and make the most sense as far as bringing eyes to this. Like, I mean, come on, you fight Richard Torres. Torres isn't that known outside of boxing, you know.
Man, that's Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua will fill up a stadium with any of these dudes.
Yeah, but Deontay Wilder will bring more money because he's more known. Like, I mean, it's hey, Joshua, if Joshua get paid? No.
But that wasn't the question. That wasn't the question, Bill. That wasn't the question. The question was who poses the biggest threat. That's what he asked.
He has two questions. That's the second question. Who posed the biggest threat? Probably Richard Torres.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't think Efe Ajagba has the activity. Like, Efe Ajagba is dangerous, but I feel like Efe Ajagba don't throw enough punches too.
Okay.
You know who poses the biggest threat to Joshua on this list?
Who's that?
It's kind of dangerous too.
The guy who poses the biggest threat to Joshua on this list is none of them. He'll beat the shit out of all of them.
Oh wow.
Uh-huh.
Well,
it just depends on which one he want to beat on. This ain't none of them no good.
Okay. Well, here's the thing for me.
Your first question, who I would like him to fight? Was that the first question?
No, you made that.
Nobody asked that. Nobody asked that.
So here's the thing. Torres, I don't think he'll be dangerous because he's going to come after Joshua, but I don't know how long he'll be able to keep it up. And if Joshua's able to make it out of the first couple rounds, then he's going to get him out of there. He's a little short little dude that Joshua's going to beat down on. Now, as far as Hrgović could be tricky because Hrgović takes a pretty good shot. Hrgovic's best attribute against Anthony Joshua is he's calm and he's able to take the punishment. And if he's able to get into like round 6, round 7, I can see him posing a threat then because sometimes he has like a burst. He's like, where did that come from? And with Joshua's weak chin, that may be a possibility. But, overall, he's better than Hrgović because he's just so lazy. Wilder just has the one, hitter quitter, but at the same time, Wilder is looking so past it now. And then Efe Ajagba will have a shot to a certain degree because he has that big 1-2. And if he can land one down the middle, but he's just not as talented as the upper echelon heavyweights. So I would favor Joshua against all of these guys, but there's a danger that lurks with all of them as well. So I like the fights, man. I hope that, he's able to come back. I like AJ, and I want to see him do well. It's just to me that it's two things about AJ that leads to bad results. First is the whiskers. That's the obvious thing. And then also he's kind of like timid a little bit too, when guys like pressure him or if he's fighting somebody that can box that's kind of slick like a Usyk or big power punchers, they might want to keep him away from those guys. Anything else you have about old AJ, man?
He's the man, my African brother.
Yeah, I like AJ. He's starting to grow, into, himself. Like you start to see his personality grow a little bit more. I guess
stop trying to be Frank Lucas, though. Stop doing the Frank Lucas thing. But other than that, you all right.
I ain't never seen him do that. He be doing the Frank Lucas. He be thinking he.
Oh man, something about his heroes are Frank Lucas and Nicky Barnes. And come on, man, stop it, bro. You from London?
You're doing too much.
Probably read a couple books, but you're from London, bro. Just be from London.
What? Idris, what is it? Idris Elba? Idris, the one that on the wire?
Yeah.
He's trying to have that fake American act. He think he Stringer Bell too. You understand what I'm saying?
But be honest, nobody knew.
You're cold, dude. You're cold, dude, man.
But nobody knew Idris Elba was British until after The Wire.
Nah, you didn't. He played that to a T, man.
That off. Look at the dude. Look at the dude from Snowfall. Nobody knew he was British until he did the interview. It's whoa.
Right.
Them dudes be pulling it off, man. They be pulling it off.
He said, he was my brick by brick.
Stringer Bell was my favorite. One of my. I like
Stringer Bell was a cold cat.
He was a cold. K was smooth.
Yeah, Amon was cold. Amon was cold.
Let me ask you this though, fellas. Which crew did you like better, the Barksdale crew or the Marlowe crew?
Barksdale. I think Marlowe crew was just
too.
Marlowe was too vicious. Marlowe was too vicious, man.
Something about that crew just it made me feel a certain type of way. Like, dang, man, y'all just breaking just street rules. Like, y'all just
Marlowe gonna send everybody to prison. Everybody going to jail mess with Marlowe.
Put people on vacants and stuff, man. And keep hiding them from their families, so their families don't know what happened to them. And
who was calling though? Who was calling Chris or Weeback?
Oh, Chris.
Chris is cold
because he'll walk you there and be laughing. Hey man, you be
Chris is
with
cold.
The victim, walk him up in there, be like, I got your back. Don't worry. Pow, kill him.
But see, here's the thing.
Who was cold? Who was called though? Chris or Snoop?
Chris,
but Snoop was more. You like Weebay and Snoop more. You know what I mean? They had better personalities. But as far as
Snoop, at times. Like it was a few scenes where Snoop looked at Chris like, this dude is nuts, man. Like when he beat up I'm gonna be up here telling spoilers. Hope y'all seen The Wire before, those listeners.
Oh man,
but when they beat down my dude's dad or his stepdad.
Yeah, that wasn't cool. That was cool. That was cool. He's supposed to beat that dude down.
Yeah,
He's supposed to beat that dude.
Like, dude, man, I ain't never seen you like this.
Yeah, but the question though, as far as the two crews, the reason why I mess with Avon no more because I understood like what they were doing, and once they sometimes would reap the rewards, the fruits of their labor. Like I can see them, like they used to kick and have a good time and stuff like that. Marlo, he was just vicious all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like he never shut it off. You know what I mean? And for him, his crew to have a good time or anything like that. And so it just made more sense to me that the Avon crew.
He killed the security guard just for standing up for himself.
Right. But now you know who the coldest was though. My boy Omar. Oh, I know he had some things he was doing, but at the same time, him like
at least he had a code though. Omar had some cold scenes like Brother Manzone and him. They would have certain the dialogue between him and other characters. I bet these 245s beat that. I forgot what he said. You remember when he came to the Dice game? That Luger, yeah.
Oh man, he was cool. But anyway, let's get back to the boxing.
Yeah, man. I like Omar. I liked Omar because Omar had a code and he stuck to it no matter what.
Yeah. That was my last series that I watched. Like I had to get back home. Like I think it's on Sundays. I can't miss them.
Yeah, exactly. So Ryan Garcia calls out Teofimo.
He's dissing Shakur resume. And you know what I'm saying? He's saying Shakur is overhyped. Now, this is one of the things about boxing that's bad because I could see Teofimo pulling the switcherooski, trying to fight Ryan Garcia because his name and all of this type of stuff, and that's messed up. How does Ryan, and we're going to have another guy on here that we're going to talk about, how does he have the audacity to even say some of these type of things? You know what I'm saying? And get away with it. He's overhyped. How is he over?
Ryan Garcia is overhyped. Ryan Garcia is overhyped.
He's projecting. Yeah, he's projecting.
Overhyped, man. Did this dude just lose to Rolly Romero? Like, overhyped. Just be honest and say, hey, I don't want to fight Shakur Stevenson because he's gonna embarrass me. Period.
Nah, he's telling Shakur that he's gonna fight him though. Shakur is under the impression that fight is gonna take place. Now, let me say this though, because I think we all agree Ryan is he's projecting the same stuff that he's saying about Shakur. That's really him who he's talking about, but he's putting that on Shakur. But this is one thing that I also do not like about these young guys. This is what Shakur said he's going to do. He says he promises if he gets the Teo fight that he's going to take his WBO belt and then he's going to vacate it to allow Keyshawn Davis to fight for. What do you guys think about that, man?
What do you mean make it Keyshawn Davis get a title to him? Is he gonna fight?
Oh, he's saying, I just told you, sir. He's gonna vacate the belt so Keyshawn can fight the number one guy. That's the thing. That's what he's trying to do.
I ain't into this. We friends. I'm gonna help you out. Nah, man. This is a business. This is a boxing game. Let that man earn it. You know what I'm saying? Period.
No, you fight me. You know what I'm saying? Once I win, there's whoever can get the smoke. Ain't no friends like that. We can be cool, later on. Like right now, I want to showcase the fact that I'm the best. Like what is that? That's like Floyd getting the belt. Like, okay, Zab, you can have these.
He said he would never fight his brother. Ain't we supposed to be brothers?
Wait, hold on now.
Help your brother make some money, man.
Did they come from the same mom?
Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am.
Hey, we saw a woman came between them two dudes, them two brothers.
Man, ain't no friends in boxing, man. This ain't nothing to be playing around and doing all this stuff. Y'all in the same weight class, then go ahead and move. Now, if you want to go ahead and just move and go to a different weight class, man, you earn that belt if you beat Teofimo Lopez. You just gonna give somebody your belt? That's like you being like you go and Lord forbid anybody ever do a bid, but you in jail like Oh no, you want to use the phone? Here, man. Like what? You sweet, man. Don't give anybody anything. If that's your brother, make money with your brother. Y'all get in that ring and see who the best is. And then y'all go y'all separate ways afterwards in terms of your careers. It ain't no friends like that. Come on, man. Y'all
hey, Nino and G Money was brothers, right?
But they weren't blood brothers.
You saw what Nino did to G Money.
Man, he took his girl, all type of stuff, man. What he wanted, he took. You know what I mean? We still
friends
cool.
Is friends. Business is business.
It is. Yeah, man. Come on, Keisha. I mean, Shakur. Don't do that, dog. Don't. See that makes it. That's the reason why it's so hard to get behind dudes, because they do stuff like this.
I think Shakur is one of them old need a friend ass dudes, man. You ever heard of them?
Yeah, but
there's one in the neighborhood. Every neighborhood got one. Oh, need a friend ass dude. He just want to be everybody's friend. Do anything for everybody else. Won't do nothing for himself. Come on, man. Stop being like that, Shakur.
Yeah, I
because if the roles were reversed, that dude will fight you. I bet you Keyshawn will fight you.
Mm-hmm. All that friend stuff, man. Come on, dog. Don't do that. But anyway, Muratalla and Schofield, they look like they're in the works for that Devin Haney card. Early on, who would you favor in the Muratalla versus Schofield fight?
Muratalla.
I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna go Schofield. I think it's gonna be.
Can y'all fellas elaborate a little bit more? I know the one-word answers are good, but can we,
I'll be honest. I was gonna tell you, you can't really listen to me because I'm biased against Schofield. I favor you against Schofield. I don't like Schofield. I think he used that B word out. He pumped out against Shakur. I don't care what nobody say. He pumped out. I don't like the dude. I want to see. Got to show me that he wants to fight somebody because he don't want to fight. He's a weirdo, and I hope he loses. I'm taking Muratalla. I'm taking anybody against him.
Okay. What about you, Vale? What's your rationale?
Yeah, I think because this is a fight that he wanted. I mean, the Shakur Stevenson stuff happened because Shakur Stevenson is a boxer that style probably wasn't going to work against a Floyd Schofield. Muratalla, I think Schofield has more, range than Muratalla, even though Muratalla is dangerous. And that's why I would favor Schofield in that fight.
Thank you, Adam. Adam is a voice of reason in that chat right there. He says before the Farmer fight, everybody thought Schofield was overrated. And so now Vail has the audacity, the unmitigated gall to pick this kid against a top 135-pound fighter, which is blasphemous here on Sunday. But what I will say is this. I don't know in terms of Schofield if he's still overrated, if he isn't, because the Tevin Farmer fight, which was a great win, he caught Tevin Farmer early, and he caught a cold Tevin Farmer who had 3 really tough fights with Muratalla, and then he had the 2 fights against Zepeda. And then it was kind of it wasn't short notice, but it was like a short turnaround to go ahead and fight this kid who is he's a dynamo, but that doesn't necessarily mean he can do the same thing against those other guys. Because again, he just caught a cold Tevin Farmer who was kind of long in the tooth. So I'm still the jury's still out on this kid. This would be a good test right here to let me know if he is the real deal. Because like my main man Adam said, when I saw him fight the dude prior to facing Tevin Farmer, he looked bad. He was over there getting dropped. He looked like he was getting tired. He was just winging all of these shots, and dude took some of them, and then some of them he was able to weave. And so I don't know, man. That would be a good litmus test for me to see. I don't think he's going to whitewash Muratalla. I think that it'd be a good fight. I think that it'd be a pretty close fight. So shout out to them for considering it. And the other thing that I'm going to say is this. I don't know. I'm not going, because the Schofields, I was feeling the same way that Shelton was feeling about him in terms of not selecting to fight Shakur and trying to figure out a way out of it. The reason why I'm kind of 50-50 on it is because you had other guys getting sick. too, who had to pull out. And remember, the guy who came on here and he had a discussion with us, he said, man, I don't know if you know, when you go over there, like the Riyadh area in Saudi Arabia, he was like, it takes a while to get adjusted over there as far as like the air quality and things like that. So I don't know if those guys didn't really actually get sick, because it was a couple people on that card who couldn't make it, to their fight, and they had to get late replacements. Bill, you going to say something?
Yeah, because I mean the jury's still out on Muratalla too, also, because outside of their common opponent is both Tevin Farmer, and Muratalla probably fought a fresher Farmer. But other than that, who has Muratalla fought? He's on the come up too, the same way.
Well, you can say a lot of things about different guys, right? And so with Muratalla, then you would if you're leaning and saying that Muratalla is somebody who deserves to be in the top rankings, like you said, he had the majority decision victory, and he was the first guy out of the three in terms of Zepeda and Schofield to face Farmer. But he also smoked the mess out of Nakatila, who gave what's called all type of trouble. Shakur. Remember, Shakur was running around the ring, from him. So, we'll see, man. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that Muratalla is all this or all that. Just based on his fighting style, it looks to me like that would be a very good matchup for him.
Well,
and
like you said earlier, bro, the guy came on and said that people, takes a while to adjust over there, and I get that. But my problem with Schofield is nobody else said they were poisoned.
Yeah,
that's what my issues come.
They said a lot of stuff that that's what I said. That's why I was turned off by them, as well. I can still hear Papa Schofield telling Shakur, "Your buns." Oh my God, his voice, man, be getting me sometimes. You talking about getting adjusted? It takes some time to get adjusted to that voice. It's a good fight, though. I agree. Also, man, you got Eddie Hearn. He's trying to set up this Callum Smith fight with David Morrell, and they're trying to get it locked in. I don't know if I ever got you guys' opinion as far as who you think will win between Callum Smith and David Morrell. David Morrell still, I think that
Callum Smith.
You think so?
David Morrell he throws too many wide punches. David Morrell showboats too much. David Morrell is not as good against top competition as he was against those cab drivers. Callum Smith would stop him, knock him out.
What about you, Bill? What do you think?
I would pick Callum Smith. I don't know if he stops him, but I think David Morrell is just. I feel like, especially that last fight, that was really, really rough for him. So to go from that and Benavidez fight, which is no walk in the park, to a fight against a Callum Smith, who's probably been a little bit more rested, I think I would favor Smith in that fight.
This is a 50-50 to me, because Callum Smith, 35, 27-year-old for Morrell. Callum, the thing is, when he fought Buatsi, I was impressed. Like I said, I equate that to even had he lost the fight, I would have been impressed, because you saw like a professional who is former world champion. He showcased how he was the champion at 168. You saw the skills, the difference between him and Buatsi. Again, I always like when I see a guy, it's certain angles that they'll give somebody who doesn't have as much experience, and it baffles the younger guy. They had to try to figure things out. I mentioned Harding against Eric Harding against Tarver. He was doing that to him too. Tarver was so frustrated against Harding when they fought each other that first fight, and he figured it out the second fight. Like around the fourth round, he clipped him, and that's when he solved the puzzle. Some guys can't do it. Anthony Joshua was having that against Klitschko. Like Klitschko was fighting from a different angle, and he was just missing like wide shots. So I'm saying that to say Smith showed that against Buatsi. Against Morrell, the issue is this. What I did see in the Buatsi fight, was that he was fighting on fumes from the 9th round to the 12th round, but he had put so much punishment on Buatsi that he couldn't take advantage of it. That dude right there has some big old fists, man, and he carries his power throughout the course of his fight. Remember that guy he beat a couple of years ago that he sent to the hospital when he knocked him out in that last round. So that power is going to be, they still young and he's still fresh. It's just a matter if Smith gets him out of there before those late rounds. If it makes it to the late rounds, then I got Morrell. Early, up until the 8th round, all Callum Smith. After that, he's getting knocked out. So that's the dichotomy that you be dealing with in this fight based on what it is that I see. But it's a great matchup, man. I would like to see it. Also, Bill, you want to talk about O'Shaquie Foster. O'Shaquie Foster, I like his story, right? He's going to be facing Stephen Fulton, on the Fundora undercard with Thurman. Here's the thing about O'Shaquie Foster to me. O'Shaquie Foster to me is like watching the Tennessee Titans football team without Derrick Henry. You know what I'm saying? Like you just see a team that is basic. You know what I'm saying? And they may pull it out at the end. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be feisty and they're going to fight. But at the same time, would I want to see them or do I want to see Lamar Jackson? You understand what I'm saying? And so that's how I feel about him. Shout out to him, though. I'll let you go ahead and chop it up about an old O'Shaquie, because that's something that you want to discuss.
I mean, he got some good things about him. I think the main thing,
Tennessee.
You will pick Fulton over him easily if Fulton was the same size.
Oh, absolutely.
This is a guy who fought at 122, 2 weight class below. Was stopped there. I'm just trying to put things in perspective. I'm not saying that what's going to happen yet. So Fulton was stopped at 122 by a small 122 pounder who doesn't even fight at, who really just moved up from 118. At that time.
Who was that? Who did he get stopped by?
The Monster. So but again, that's a good
you called him. You just said the man is the Monster, right? Also, where did you rank?
I'm trying to.
No, because you're making a false equivalency.
I'm not.
Yeah, you are. Where do you rank the Monster in your pound for pound list?
Number 2.
Oh, so why is that even? He's not fighting the number 2 pound for pound guy. But okay.
I get it, but still, that's a small guy. So I'm just saying. So, but looking at it, the only reason that makes it an interesting fight is really the size alone. Is that O'Shaquie Foster is probably a big 130 pounder. The problem with the matchup is, which makes it easier for Fulton, is Fulton's strengths plays to Foster's weaknesses. Foster sometimes will give away rounds, even the fight that he lost close. That even if you think it was a robbery, he kind of gave away that fight. He was giving away rounds, and his activity wasn't high enough to win some of the rounds that he could have run. So you're going against a guy who beats guys at their own game. Fulton beat Figueroa at his own game using his own activity. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's if Fulton decides to up the ante, up the activity, he can do it at any time and not get hurt in the process, which he probably won't because Foster doesn't have a whole lot of power. I think Fulton has the opportunity to kind of drown Foster, and I think that's what will probably happen in that fight. So that's why.
Drown? What you mean drown, sir?
Drown as far as the activity, you're gonna up the activity, and O'Shaquie Foster won't be able to keep up, and Foster's going to end up losing.
Huge gap in skills. What do you think about it, Sheldon? This show still.
I actually like the fight, bro. I think O'Shaquie's gonna get beat. I just don't think he's dynamic enough or has enough athleticism to beat Fulton. I don't think Fulton has the pop, but Fulton has the boxing skill, the athleticism, and the tenacity to beat O'Shaquie. O'Shaquie is the type of guy that I see. He does just enough. You know what I mean? And just enough ain't gonna be enough against Stephen. I think Stephen Fulton beats him in a majority decision. So his only chance to beat Fulton is he has to knock Fulton out. If he don't knock Fulton out, he loses.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's the thing with O'Shaquie. What I would do based on his dimensions, I would try to box him and keep him with a stiff jab in his face because he's not like a power puncher or anything like that. Then I'd force him to come in and then I can kind of blind him with the jab and then try to, hit him with some money shots here and there, but just box. But these guys don't do that anymore. He'll be sitting there trying to fight him, and then the skill is going to be there, and it's going to be a big separation. And so that's the reason why I think O'Shaquie is going to lose, because if you talk about skill for skill, it's not even close. But he can make it interesting if he fights the right fight. But is his corner going to implement a game plan that's going to allow him to do that? And is he going to execute the game plan? It's kind of like what Floyd Mayweather pops, what he said about his pops when they were asking him about Ricky Hatton. He said, Ricky Hatton, my pops gave him a game plan, but he didn't execute the game plan. And I think that that's what's going to happen in this fight. If he execute a game plan and have one, dudes don't even be having game plans no more. They just be going in there fighting their style. Maybe this fight right here, you might want to choose to go ahead and implement something that he's not good at. And like I say, with his dimensions, he could do it. It would make it interesting. I just don't see him doing it, though. All right, man, let me go ahead and keep it moving, man. We're talking about old O'Shaquie. That's Vail loves a guy like O'Shaquie. He'll make his whole schedule around O'Shaquie weekend.
I respect O'Shaquie because he's a guy that they didn't expect him to be much, and he made it to world champion level. So
shout out to him. You understand what I'm saying? And I'll go ahead and take a look at his highlights after the fight is over with. Now, as far as Ja Opetaia, man, he wants to unify the heavyweight, the cruiserweight belts before he makes his entrance into the heavyweight division. I agree with that. And I think that that's a good plan if he's going to hurry up and up the ante and fight the other titleists, as opposed to fighting against these nondescript guys that he's been facing, because he is around 30 years of age, a little bit over 30. I think in a heavyweight division, it's okay for a guy maybe 32, 33 years of age, then make your entrance into the heavyweight division. But again, he has to be on a fast track. But they're offering him the Chisora fight next, which I think that he would be in good shape to be able to beat a Chisora. Two questions here, Vail. One is, do you agree with his decision, in terms of staying at the cruiserweight division in order to unify? And then also, once he does make his entrance into the heavyweight division, how far you see him going based on what you know about Ja Opetaia?
I think he's doing the right thing, because once he moves up, he's moving up. I don't think it'll be wise to go to heavyweight and then go back down to cruiserweight. So if he has a chance to unify it, because that goes in the history books. We don't even know if he's going to be successful at heavyweight. He has a better chance at cruiserweight. Now, do I see him being successful at heavyweight? I would say yes, because he has power, but also he's going to have the stamina and quickness, to compete. Now he's not going to be his ceiling. I don't know. We don't know. Just like we didn't know Usyk's ceiling, but I think he'll have some advantages given he doesn't.
Oh, yeah, a whole bunch of advantages. Yeah,
a whole bunch of advantages. But he's going to get clocked though a few times, and how he responds is going to be important. But as we've seen, just because somebody's a cruiserweight, saying, that doesn't mean they're going to necessarily give up a whole lot. They might give up a little bit of weight and size, but normally they're going to be faster. And we in the era where folks be walking up in the fights with a pop bellies and stuff like that, throw 10 punches and they tired. You know what I'm saying? And that's not going to be a good thing if you're facing Ja Opetaia, because he's going to put your lights out. He's not going to just embarrass you like Usyk. He's going to hit you with that shot and put your lights out.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me, Sean. Is he still there? Hey. Sean, still there?
Yeah, I'm here, bro. I'm here. You got me?
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're just talking about Ja Opetaia, man.
Yeah, I think Opetaia, that's a good battle test. Chisora, to see if he can even deal with that 20 pounds, because we got to come in at least 210, 215, something like that. Chisora's gonna come around 250. Fights around 240, 260. So
yeah, if Chisora is still around during that time, a fighter like a Chisora is a perfect guy, to make your first foray into the heavyweight divisions. Big, strong. He's
so,
a little bit on
if he can deal with Chisora, then he belongs in the division. If he can't, then he doesn't. And don't forget, even though it was 2-3 years ago, Chisora gave Usyk for me. So don't forget that.
Yeah, Usyk was testing the waters over there. Like I said, that'd be a good litmus test for him. And see, these guys who are coming up in around 215, 220, I equate it to, if you look at the Tiger family, or I should say, the Tiger family, the actual tiger itself is a vicious beast. You know what I mean? But when you look at the animal that is the perfect killing machine, it's a jaguar because of the speed, the ability, like the jaw power that it has, the bite force, I should say, the agility. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to the bigger tigers and things like that. That's what I equate like a Usyk and a Ja Opetaia. If he decides to move up the heavyweight, their agility, and then they still are big enough to cause you harm with their fists because they're still big men, in the grand scheme of things. They're not these gigantic dudes, but at the same time, that speed, agility is going to be for, especially this generation of heavyweights, because they're just not used to fighting those type of quick twitch athletes. So shout out to him. Hopefully he'll get his unification done quickly so he can actually have a heavyweight career that's not, like short-lived. All right, last two questions on here, man. Bill, you also want to talk about Frank Sanchez, who looked like he was 68 years old last time I seen him fight, but he also rebounded back in February with a decision victory. Now, he may have had a knockout, but he has one in the win column. You saw Ajaba in his last fight fighting against his African brethren, and the IBF now orders a rematch between the two guys for an IBF eliminator. Do you think that this fight right here will end up the same as the first, or do you think that Ajaba has gotten better? And then also Sanchez, after getting beat up, a year or two ago, if he's on the decline a little bit and has the talent level kind of gotten closer?
Yeah, I think it's the last statement that the talent level has gotten closer because Sanchez has taken some punishment. I'm not sure if Efe Ajaba has improved that much. He did improve a little bit, and that first fight was a few years ago. It's something about that fight though that I just couldn't, unsee, and that's, Ajaba not really having the activity to keep up with Sanchez, it getting, popped at certain times. And it could be that Cuban style, but also, I think so. Frank Sanchez, they might say he's in his early to mid 30s, but how old is he really? How old is he really? He could be doing a Louis Ortiz or something like that. So for that, I think it's a closer fight. I would slightly favor Ajaba in this fight. I think he has enough to get it done this time, and I think Sanchez has taken some punishment, and I think I'm not gonna say he's just totally not the same, but I think that's gonna matter.
What is he gonna do differently now that he didn't do before?
I think he won't have the same vigor to do what Ajaba they did in the first fight. I mean, he was hurting Ajaba in that first fight. I don't think that's going to happen in this one.
Okay. What about you, Sheldon? You got any? I like that LA hat right there. They got the Dodgers that kind of like USC with the USC colors. That's a cool LA hat. But what do you think, man? You think that is Sheldon still with us? I can't see.
Yeah, I'm here, bro. Jagba. I mean, he's the same guy in every fight. His last fight against Bacoli, I love to see that again. That was a great fight. Frank Sanchez is a little long in the tooth.
He just got. They say like 30. Yeah, they. I don't know.
The Cuban dudes, they say they 30. When they say they 30, they really mean 36. they ain't got no cool, super accurate birth records over there in Cuba. So you never know how old the dudes really are.
He 36 in a
but
title
Frank Sanchez took a little damage from the Caballero fight, and there's another fight before that. And they say, I just don't think.
You breaking up, sir?
We lost him.
Oh, okay. But who said this, Vil?
Hold on, fellas. Y'all, my internet went out. Yeah, internet's back. I just don't think this version of Frank Sanchez beats Ajagba. I think Ajagba gets this guy out of there. This guy can't really move, as we saw in that last fight. Maybe his knee's better now. Who knows? But yeah, I don't think Frank. I think Frank's time has passed, and I would pick Ajagba in this fight.
Yeah. Vil, who said this famous line? You 36 and in a karate class?
Tybo. Got to work it out. That's one of my favorite disc records, man. Is Ether.
Yes, sir.
I might listen to that today.
That's a dope track. But anyway, as far as this is concerned, I think, like I said, it's hard to not remember what Sanchez looked like, but at the same time, his opponent that he lost to is he's one of those quick, fast heavyweights, that throws a lot of punches. And if you're not able to move around like he did previously, that's going to spell trouble. He couldn't get out of the way, especially on that bum knee. This is just going to depend on Sanchez's, if he has his base. I think that he'll still be able to maneuver around in order to get away from Ajagba's shots. And here's the thing. I think in this fight, one of these dudes aren't going to make it to the bell because I think Sanchez is going to be a little bit more stationary. Remember, he dropped Ajagba in that last fight. I think he's going to be sitting down with his punches more. It's just a matter if Sanchez is getting clipped by Ajagba with that straight bow and arrow type right hand that he has. And so that's what it's going to play out to. But I think this will end in a stoppage either way, because Whatchcom is just not as agile as he was before. Even if the leg is better, I still think he's a little bit older now, which will have been more of a stationary target. But Sanchez still is slick, though. You know what I mean? So it could go either way. We'll see, though. I like the matchup. But also, what if this fight, do you think for my main man, Moses Atama, would you like to see him fight somebody like a Ajagba? Would that be a good test for him if they able to make that fight? Yeah,
absolutely. I would love this fight. That would answer a lot of questions about Moses Atama. I may favor Atama in here so far. That'd be a good test. If he able to get Afe Ajagba out of there, you know what I'm saying? That'll be impressive. And if he can't, it'll be impressive to see him put on a clinic and beat Ajagba, because it still questions over, okay, when that fight goes past the 6 rounds, how is Atama fighting? There's still those questions are still there. We know Afe Ajagba, what he can do over 12 rounds. I'm more unsure about Moses Atama, and a fight where Ajagba will answer questions regardless of how it goes.
That fight not going a distance either, because Ajagba couldn't get out of the way of Sanchez, but Sanchez wasn't sitting on his shots. And so either way, either Atama is going to whitewash him early, 4th round tops, 5th round tops. He may be a little bit more reluctant on, throwing some of those devastating shots because he knows that Ajagba has an eraser, but Ajagba is kind of slow. He doesn't know how to set his shots up properly, and that dude is so fast. This would be a nightmare to me for Ajagba because he's going to be looking at a quicker Frank Sanchez who's more vicious and who's trying to take him out. And I think just that first few rounds of trying to figure it out, it'll be too late because dude already, and he's accurate. He's accurate as I don't know what. So I think it'll be a bad matchup for Ajagba, but it's a good test because this is somebody who's younger and who has power. You know what I'm saying? So he has to be cognizant of what's coming back. And if he gets clipped, then we'll see what's up with that chin. You have any thoughts on this, Sheldon?
Yeah, I don't think that's a good fight for Jock, but he's too damn slow. This dude gonna piece him up. This guy's young and fast. I would like to actually, if you want to put a timer in there with somebody, put him in there with Daniel Dubois. That's the fight I want to see.
Is he ready for that? I think it's the level though.
If you think he's ready for Usyk, why is he not ready for Dubois?
I don't think he's ready for Usyk. I would go like this. If I'm just going level. I'm not saying going directly from opponent to opponent, but Ajaba, Dubois, Usyk. Those levels.
Nah, heck no. Nah. Y'all gonna get the young man broken up, man. Slow down, man. Like, no. You're not Mike Tyson, bro. Like, we don't do that. Because here's the deal. He hasn't now the Dubois fight could go in his favor because Dubois is slow. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes Dubois, once you get the rat-a-tat-tat in that chin, Dubois is like Frank Bruno. You know what I'm saying? Like he gets, shell shocked. So that could go in his favor, but that dude got some devastating power. But I can see him knocking him out early though, too. It's just that look on Dubois' face when he getting hit. You know what I'm saying? So I can see that.
You just think Dubois is a quitter now. Everything Dubois is quit now, huh? That's what it is for you?
Nah, I think he has that Frank Bruno gene. You know what I'm saying? Like some of those guys, they get hit and you see the look on their face where they just like stiff as a board and he, his legs get the trembling and stuff like that. So, and that's what Usyk did to him when he was landing that jab.
One person that did Bruno like that was Tyson.
What's gonna do it too? Lennox Lewis hit him with that uppercut.
So I compare this guy. Yeah, Lennox Lewis too, but I don't compare this guy to Frank Bruno. We doing way too much. Put this guy on the same class with Frank Bruno. This dude ain't fought nothing.
No, I didn't compare him to Frank Bruno. What I said was when Bruno would get hit, I saw Bone Crusher Smith do that to Bruno too. Like when he get hit, man. Yeah, I remember that was on ABC too, But here's the thing.
Yeah, but there ain't too many Bone Crusher Smith in the heavyweight division right now. So.
I seen what's clocked him too.
Ain't no Witherspoon Thomas's either.
Yeah, I'm just the point though.
Terrible Tim? Yeah, Terrible Tim, 2-time world champion. So,
Yeah, Terrible Tim just had the problem with Don King.
Terrible Tim, 2-time world champion. So,
Don King didn't pay him, so it kind of disheartened Tim Witherspoon. But Tim Witherspoon is that chopping overhand right that'll catch you slipping.
Terrible Tim was a bad man.
Yeah, he gave Larry Holmes all he can handle.
Would you put Moises Sutama? Would you put Moises Sutama in the class of a Ray Mercer right now?
See, when you say put it in class with him, you're as far as like his level, or are you talking about if they fought each other?
Skilled as dangerous and skilled as Ray Mercer. Do you think he is that guy?
They different. You know what I'm saying? Like Ray Mercer had that nice. He had an iron chin. You know what I'm saying? Like Ray Mercer, he always in that right hand was always dangerous. I just think at time is different. Like I can't really classify him, like that because he brings different skills to the table. Like Mercer to me.
So who would you like to see him matched against? Who would you like to see him matched against that we got today?
But the answer your question. Yeah, I was trying to answer all the questions that you were answering.
Okay, go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, like, as far as Mercer, that would be a bad matchup to me. Like somebody like Mercer who has that beard, like you couldn't hurt him, and then Mercer, if as the fight goes on, he's still gonna be dangerous. And if that dude get tired, then that's when he'll get him out of there. For me, what I would like to see him. You guys mentioned the Wardley fight. Like I would go in that direction. I would fight somebody like Fabio Wardley. I also would take on like after that. Give me somebody like a Herkovich or somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? Like then once I do that, then give me a Dubois. Let me knock him off, clean his clock, and then give me whoever after that. Now the fight that's going to be very tricky is going to be the Cabal fight, if that's how you pronounce his name, the Ajit. Because he's fast.
He got Caballero.
He's fast too, like the Caballos and the Parkers and guys like that, because those are kind of like mirror images from the standpoint of the agility and things like that. He's not going to have those same advantages over those dudes as he does the kind of slower, methodical heavyweights. You know what I'm saying? So, but we'll see, man. We'll see. Shout out to the kid, man.
I still think.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, Sheldon. I don't know if you're talking because your Wi-Fi.
No, that's the internet, man. I still think that I'm in the car. I think that Parker beats him. I still think
he rolling through Compton right there. Help him out a little bit. But I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm rolling through Compton right now. I am. As a matter of fact, I am. Yeah, but I would still think that Parker beats him. I just don't think he's ready for Joe Parker.
Yeah, that would be, again, as Junior said back in the day, take your time, young man. Mama used to say, don't you rush to get the title. Now, last thing on here, man, and we're going to end it on this, is your boy. It's two guys making a comeback today. You got your boy Saddam Ali. He's weighing the heaviest he's ever weighed, 156 pounds. He's going to make a ring return today. Matter of fact, he's making a ring return in Vale's hometown. Mm-hmm. Also today, you got Richard Comey. He's coming off a 2-year layoff. And both of these guys are trying to make a comeback and one last hurrah. Which of these guys do you think has the better chance of fighting some of the upper echelon guys, Ali or Comey? Remember, Ali was a 2008 Olympian.
First off, I wish I was there at home because you see that logo, that W, that's Wayne State University. That's where that fight is being taken place. And the field, it's going to take place in the field outside, I believe, the field house of Wayne State, where I went to college at. So shout out to Wayne State Warriors, So I want to say it's tricky because I think Richard Comey was more active. However, I think Saddam Ali is more skilled. He's in a better position. Let's say he starts going back down in weight at 154 or even 160. I'm not saying he'll win at those weights, but as far as being able to get in position to get those fights, I think he has a better chance. I see Richard Comey getting beat up more so than Saddam Ali, so that's why I favor Saddam Ali.
You think so? You didn't see Saddam against Anthony Young back in 2019 when he got smoked?
Yeah, but I feel like he has more skill and know-how than I think.
You didn't see Jaime McGee beat him to a.
Yeah, but Jaime McGee was like 2 weight classes bigger when I saw him in the ring. But I still feel like Saddam Ali, if you put him in the right weight and put him against the right opponent, I think he has more skill to fight a different type of fight. I think Richard Comey is going to fight the same fight and take the same punishment. That's the difference. Richard Comey is more a brawler than anything. Saddam Ali, I can see him outboxing a few cats. I can see him, pulling a Danny Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he'll lose against, some of the fighters in that weight class. He's too small, but he has enough skill and know-how to pull it off against certain guys. Comey don't have that confidence.
I ain't saying that since 2016. You know what I'm saying? That's like damn 10 years ago. But anyway, what about you, Sheldon?
Neither. I don't think either one of those guys is going to fight anybody significant. How old is Saddam Ali? Like 41?
He's getting. He might be like
41.
Yeah, he about. Let me see. Saddam Ali. Saddam is. They don't even have his age on here. That's how old he is. 36. Saddam only 36 years old though.
He's 36. If he get himself in position, he might be able to get a fight with one of them young bucks. What's he fighting at 148, 147, or 154?
Well, this fight is I think it's at 157. It's at like a kind of a catch weight, but I think he make a campaign at 154.
So he's trying to get up to 160. He's trying to campaign at 160.
Yeah.
Oh. Wait,
No,
hey, look.
he look a little
Arizona
pudgy right there.
Yeah, he could go back to 154. He could go back to
Arizona Lars like 73, and he competing up there. So anything can happen.
All right, fellas, that was our last topic right there. But I'm gonna bring British African American on, see what he want to talk about. See what Vail said that he want to go ahead and rebuttal. British African American, what's going on?
Hey man, you're right. How's it going?
Everything's good. Anything that you wanted to discuss before we about to wrap it up? But we want to go ahead and let you, chime in on anything that we may have said that you might want to, discuss yourself.
Yeah, man. I think Jermell Charlo, already had this chance. I feel like Jermell Charlo, had an embarrassing performance against Canelo Alvarez. He's taken too long of a time out of the ring. He's got too much ring rust, and I feel like in that Canelo Alvarez fight, that pretty much showed us the peak of his level. Because when it comes to a fighter, right, it's not all about skill. It's not all about power. It's about determination and fearlessness and actually having heart. And Jermell Charlo showed me in that Canelo Alvarez that he doesn't have much heart, because when he got hit, he took Canelo's shot right in the face. I think he got hit in the jaw or whatever. He was ducking and weaving, but then he just went to the floor. But if you notice, he went to the floor, after that punch, but he didn't get punched afterwards. It took one shot to put him down. And then throughout the entirety of that fight, he fought in a very timid way, in a very timid fashion. So for me, that fight shows the real level that Jermell Charlo is at. It shows the real skill level he's at, which is not very good. If he was as good as he thinks he is, right, or is as good as his brother, and we don't really know how good his brother is, why didn't he land barely any punches against Canelo Alvarez? Why didn't he force the pace? Why didn't he land any combinations? Why did he take a knee? Because that's what happened. That was an embarrassing performance. So that something really needs to change with him, because I don't think he has the minerals of a fighter. I think he's all talk. I think he has a deep voice and he tries to intimidate, but he went up against someone he looks down upon, because he's one of those people that look down on, people that are smaller than him, and he got beat up. You know what I mean? So like, where do we go from here when it comes to his level? Because I don't think his level is really that good, if I'm being honest.
Man, the thing, I like the things that you're saying. I totally agree, to a certain degree. But here's the thing, right? So the upper echelon guys, you don't think that it will serve him well to face those guys, especially after 2-year layoff and what you saw in the Canelo fight. However, what if he goes in the direction of getting the title shot against the Abbas Baru? I think that's how you pronounce the gentleman's name. What about if he goes in that direction? Would that be a better pathway for him in order to possibly, get him a belt, get some ring rust off, and then be a little bit more fine-tuned if he's going to go in the direction of the guys that he was naming? Do you think he will fare better if he does that?
Yeah, I think he needs a tune-up fight. I think, I would like to see him against Jaron Ennis. I think, I think that would be a good fight, because I don't think Jaron Ennis is going to fight Terence Crawford. I don't think Turkey will make that fight. I think from Turkey's perspective, that's not really a money-making fight, if I'm being honest. But I think Jermell Charlo, I did want to see him against Crawford, but that Canelo fight has shown me that I don't think he has any chance against Crawford, if I'm being honest. So I only want to see him against Crawford or Jaron Ennis, and that's my preferred choice. But I think before he gets to those people, he needs to face a couple more tune-up oppositions, because he's taken too long out of the ring. He took a beating in that Canelo Alvarez fight. A guy that's maybe I don't know if Canelo's really bigger than him, but who knows? But he took a beating in that fight and he fought very timid. So his psychology is not all good anymore. I don't think it's where it needs to be. So I think he needs to take some tune-up fights.
The last thing, man, you seem like a really knowledgeable boxing fan. You mentioned Boots Ennis. What is your take on Boots? Like, what do you think about him overall?
You know what? Like with Boots, yeah, I think there's a bit of an intrigue there because when you talk about Boots, the only person I think he's a good fighter. I think, do I think that he has the potential to be pound for pound, like being able to jump up the different weight classes? I don't know. I don't know, but he's very strong. He's a southpaw. He's got good combinations, but
Well, he switches. Boots goes both. He goes both sides. I
yeah,
think,
he does. Like the thing that this is the thing. Like Boots, he's good. He's a good fighter. I think he beats Jermell Charlo. But the question for me is, can he beat Terence Crawford? And also, depending on how this Crawford Canelo Alvarez fight goes, could he beat Canelo Alvarez? Because I think he is big enough to go up to those weights. You know what I mean? So I would like to see him against Terence Crawford. Because I think that Crawford fight will show us if he could get to a level where he's moving up to different weight classes or whatnot and becoming undisputed, and like going to the pound for pound level. So I think he is a good fighter, but I don't know if he is a pound for pound fighter. That's the question mark I have with him. But I think he is very good.
yes, sir. That's British African American fellas. Y'all have any questions for him, or y'all got anything that you want to build on as far as what British African American said? He said a lot.
No, I was listening, and I like what he said because his assessment of Boots is right along the lines with mine. I don't know what Boots is. Boots hasn't been tested. He hasn't been challenged, so I don't really know what he is. I know he's good. He's looked real good against the guys he's been in there with, but who's he really been in there with? So, I got to see him in there with somebody who's going to hit him back. Somebody who's going to challenge him, going to push him, going to take him places he ain't been. And then we can actually see what he got because we really don't know it.
Right. And then also British African American. What do you think about like Boots' resume so far? You know what I mean? Like, because it's kind of weak. Who would you lean more towards? Why would you think that's the case like right now? Because Boots is around 30 years of age, and that is a rather weak resume. Do you blame that more so on his opponents not willing to face him, or him not stepping out there trying to demand the fights that ultimately is going to show us who he actually is?
I think it's a combination of different things. I think it's because maybe I think it is selective opponent management. I think every fighter, whether we want to accept it or not, does practice that. I don't believe there's a fighter in any division that is like, yeah, I'm going to fight anyone. I don't believe that exists because boxing is a business. The propensity of that with him, I think maybe it's like maybe 60%. I don't think he is really fighting the people he wants to fight. I think he is slightly selecting careful opponents, but put people that will give him a challenge because I think as I said before, I think he is a good fighter. I think his resume is not very vast and it's not very good in my opinion. But it's strange because, he has the tools to potentially go on and be pound for pound because he is a southpaw, he is a switch hitter, he has that ripped physique that I think is quite menacing. So the question is, how big is he? Is he cutting down from 180? Could he go out to super middleweight? Could he even go out to middleweight? Who knows? Could he beat Virgil Ortiz? Could he beat Israel Madrimov? Could he beat what's that other guy? That tall guy? I can't remember.
Fundora.
That's it. Yeah, could he beat those people? Because I can't say he's a pound for pound fighter. I want to see him push. I want to see him go up in weights. You know, I want to see him go up. I want to see him go down. I want to see him take more risks, like a Terence Crawford. You know, because he has the same tools as a Crawford. You know, but could he be as good as that? I don't know. But I would like to see him because he's not that old. You know, he's not that old. You know, still young, but you know, time is getting on, and you know, we're not gonna be waiting forever. You know, so yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. We're about to close this now. What part of are you from? Britain? Is that where you're from?
Oh, me,
UK?
you're saying?
Yeah. What part?
Yeah, yeah. So like, I'm from London. Both my parents are African American. So you know, I was born to two African American parents in England, but so my ethnicity is African American from mainly the Texas region. But I'm British. And I was born in England. I grew up in London. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're an Anthony Joshua fan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, I'm anti Joshua fan. You know, I mean, Anthony Joshua is from an area called Watford, which is it's slightly outside of London, but it's a quiet area. I mean, in the UK, it's very different. It looks very different. It's you know, our hoods or bad areas are a lot more different compared to America. You know, but
Wait a minute, my
um,
man. So are you saying that AJ's from the suburbs, bro?
not really. Well, he's not. He's not from the suburbs, but he's from a small town that is basically just like so. You have London, yeah, and then you have an area called Enfield. Enfield is basically the last. So when you're going outside of London, the last town or the last borough in London is called Enfield, and that's right at the edge. So slightly once you go outside of Enfield, now you're in Watford. So people in Watford, they still have London accents, and it's still like a London area, but it's not London. That's where he's from. You know.
Got you. Let me ask you this because we're about to. I see we got another gentleman. I can't see what that is right there. That's coming through. But for you, who are some of the guys out that way that you like? Do y'all have any new up and coming guys that's coming through the ranks, or we should be looking out for?
Yeah, so like if we're talking about so like yeah, so definitely so in the super middleweight division, I think Hamza Shiraz is good. You know,
Yeah. We saying him. We saying what he did to Berlanga.
yeah, like they're
Yeah,
comparing him to Tommy Hearns, but I don't think
it's a little bit much. A little
yeah,
bit
it's a
much.
little bit much. Yeah, I don't think he's similar to Tommy Hearns, but he has power and he's quite good, unusually big for that weight. Um, and then also we have in the heavyweight division, I think is the future of the heavyweight division is Moses Atauma.
Mm-hmm.
So he's half Nigerian, half Slovakian, but he grew up in England. So he moved away from Slovakia due to the racism. So
Is he from
he's a
London
very
as
good.
well?
No, so he's from an area in called Kent, which basically is right next to London.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right. It's like in the south because London is in the southeast of England, so Kent is in the southeast of England as well. So the accent is the same.
Got you.
Yeah.
Well, what you telling me, man? Y'all got some studs coming through because my the co-host Lavelle, he kind of gets on the UK guys, man. So that's good that y'all got some promising guys.
Don't believe everything you hear, man. You can go back, listen to old episodes of Wilton's comments about British fighters.
You just
Prove it
said
there.
two
Yeah,
episodes.
I remember certain people. I don't think it was Bell, but I remember certain people saying people got weekends and you don't know where their heart's at. But hey, I don't know.
Val specifically said the UK only got like one champion or something like that. And he
No,
named them.
no.
That's what he said. But anyway, Black African American man, you're more than welcome to come through. Make sure you hit the like and sub if you haven't done so, man. But appreciate you coming through. All right.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, every Sunday at 2, we pop on, man. So you're always welcome to come back.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it. It's good to, link up with some African Americans, because I'm African American. But yeah, I appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir. You have a good one, all right?
All right, take care.
For sure, brother. For sure.
We got somebody else in, man. Who we got? Who was that down there? Today's greatest. I can't see. You on with us, good brother? Let me see. I see him, but I can't. Is the mic muted?
Come off mute. Come off mute.
I think he unmuted himself, but then I muted him. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna let you go ahead and hit the button. Well, let me try one more time. All right, unmute. Boom. Can you hear us, buddy?
Come off.
Yeah.
Hey, who we got there? You go. Is that Sugar Shane?
It's me, man. What's up, boss?
What's happening with you, Shane?
What's up, Shane?
Shane, talk to me, man.
Man, I had to get on here. I ain't get to rant enough about Tank Davis.
Oh,
and
man.
How sorry I am that I ever took up for this clown. He really let me down with this one.
We're gonna let you rant. Let's let him go ahead and do his thing. Go ahead, Sugar Shane.
There used to be a such thing as a premier boxer, a sweet science, athletes. There's a difference. Then you got showmen. Then you got stuntmen. And then you got a full-on circus. I mean, there was a time where we was talking about, even me, was talking about, this man ain't fighting nobody. He's fighting Lamont Roach. Now he's scared to fight Lamont Roach. Now the man is fighting Jake Paul, for crying out loud. I can't take it with this man. I mean, if you're scared, say you're scared. But this man said, this man called Rolly. He called Rolly. He was like, Rolly's a Jake Paul. He's a one of them. He's a phony. He's a Ryan Garcia. Well, sir, you trying to fight all these guys? That's what you trying to fight.
Sad, man.
I had to get it off my chest.
Shane had to get that
I
off.
don't think anybody can be on the Tank bandwagon anymore.
No, they on there. There's still some people
who
gonna pass. They gonna pass. But let me hey, can I say something?
Hit him with the questions, Will. Hit him with the questions.
Before I hit you with the questions, check this out though, Shane. I got a theory, man. My theory is this: is that they what they did was they set up the public and they set up Tank to make it acceptable to take the Jake Paul fight, because Jake Paul, I don't think he ever had any inclination or any aspirations on fighting AJ. But to put AJ as if that was something that was a possibility, that I'm gonna fight another fighter who's like kind of a cash cow type, fighter, that opened the door for Tank to be more accepting and willing to, accept the fight, knowing that the backlash is going to come from hardcore boxing fans. What do you think about that? You think that they were pulling the okie doke from the start with the Anthony Joshua potential fight?
Yeah, and that was never going to happen. I mean, surely. I mean, I don't think Jake Paul's not that delusional. I mean, I'll say this, for Jake Paul, he can't lose. I mean, what's he gonna lose from it?
No,
like it's smart to me from Jake Paul's perspective. It's a smart fight to take. Like, I mean, even if he got knocked out stone cold, I mean, well, it's a heavyweight champion boxer. Not heavyweight, sorry, but I'm thinking heavyweight because Jake's legitimately a heavyweight as far as what he actually weighs. But for me, to him, it's a smart decision. But for Tank, it's almost like how we saw Ryan Garcia kind of losing his mind a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of seems like that, like the hair thing. I don't know where his head's at these days, but
Man, Jake Paul
I
called
haven't seen
Nate
anybody
Robinson,
that thought
right?
this was good. You know, so
No. Let's rewind this real quick. If we're gonna be on this tank, you know, and I was hoping not to because this is Labor Day weekend. You know, I'm sitting back. It was gonna be a sipping episode. You still got the Green Bay stuff on because we got 11 from heaven. But if we're gonna be honest about this, I'm appalled. I'm flabbergasted at what some people have been saying. Not casual boxing fans. Like, I get it, they'll be okay with this, and some of them are snickering too. It's like, this dude is gonna fight Jake Paul. But when I see actual boxers who from the past who put in work and they are making this out to be something, well, yeah, he's going to get the bag, he's going to do. I'm like, dude, what you're doing, I'm talking about dudes I looked up to. I don't want to say their names, but I commented when I seen it was like 4 or 5 of them who were in this chat on this one station, and they were justifying the Tank Davis versus Jake Paul fight. What you're doing is, it's like what KRS once said on Number One. Many, you know, may rap out to be a joke, a phasing hope, you know, something with a rope. But what he was saying was, he was saying that if you don't do right by the music, if you don't do right by your content, then you're going to lose this because it's going to lose what it was set out to do, right? You got to be very conscious and cognizant of what you spew out to the public. And in boxing, you got to be very conscious of the direction that you go if you somebody who has a lot of influence. Yeah. So for him to go ahead and take this approach.
Can I ask you a question?
Do you mind if I just say one last little thing? I just want to make this one last little point. Is if you don't, if you don't use that power, especially somebody who's already been in the game and hasn't fought anybody, like you've been picking and choosing from day one. Now you picking and choosing, just like what you said, Shane. Finally, the moment when we can see if you have the intestinal fortitude. You, a guy that you already cherry picked, like you cherry picked this dude, and he gave you a little bit more trouble than what you were bargaining for. Now you're not even willing to rematch him to make that wrong right. And then you go in this direction where you chasing some money over here in this circus type matchup. What you're going to do is you're not going to have a sport anymore, especially if it won't be serious here, because other places going to be serious. The Eastern Europeans is kicking our butt. You got other countries where they still taking, the sport is still a sport, but this is going to be a fad. It's going to be something that we don't even have as far as like an actual sport. It's going to be something other than that. It's going to be a circus. It's going to be something, a sideshow. And so that's the problem that I have with this situation. But again, last thing I'm going to say, shame on those fighters who are justifying this, because this is not the sport that we grew to love because of you. But anyway, what would you want to ask them?
Yeah.
I can't hear. Is that Shane talking? I can't really tell.
No, it wasn't me.
But anyway, what you want to ask him, Sheldon? You were going to ask something.
No, can't do that. Hey, what I want to ask him was this, man. Now, Shane, now we got to have a serious one question. This is the only question I got. You got $8 million to fight Lamar Roach, right? Yeah. And Lamar Roach wants to tear your head off. And you know he's a good fighter because you just fought him and he almost had you. Or they can give you 25 to 30 million to fight a guy who you know ain't gonna try to hurt you. What do you do?
If I'm Tank Davis,
what do you do?
If I'm Tank Davis, I fight Lamar Roach. I mean, that's
why.
Because
my question is, the reason I said that is because
a lot of money. I mean, like, you know, that's a lot. That's plenty of money. But the
reason I said that is because of this. From what you said, taking on competition or taking on the biggest challenges is not in Tank's DNA. So I don't understand why people are expecting him to do something that's out of character for him. He doesn't do these type of things. He always takes the easy way out. Am I right?
Well, because if he didn't take this fight, if he didn't take this rematch and get in there and legitimately beat Lamont Roach, then the facade of Tank goes away completely. So he needed to take the fight and try to win it at least to keep the facade up. I mean, we got to think, like, we don't know how good Lamont Roach is because, like we said, Tank can pass the eye test, but we ain't seen Tank fight nobody. So it's kind of hard to say where Tank's at, you know, and
well, what I'm saying is Tank told all of us, though. Let's be honest. Tank told all of us before this fight is not going to be as easy as y'all think it is. This guy's pretty good.
Well, I'll tell you it is. Tank told me right there, you ain't never going to see him fight no Keyshawn or nothing like that. He told me that right there. They guaranteed it right there. The only one of these circus fights.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
You listen? I'm there.
Go ahead, Shay.
Okay, so there's only one circus fight that I would defend. Yeah, there's a bunch of these circus fights that's happened. Only one I'll defend. Only one. I defend Anthony Joshua when he fought Francis Ngannou because he went out there to make a statement. And that should have been the end of it. Like when he laid out Francis Ngannou and showed what a real boxer can do, that should have been it.
Can I pause for a second? Because again, these aren't equivalents. See, Tank is fighting what is Jake Paul the best at? Ngannou arguably is somebody, when you see him, it's like that's a powerful MMA guy. The way he was taking dudes out. Very impressive. He was one of the upper echelon guys in his field. That's different. That's the same with you give Mayweather a pass at the end of your career. This is the bow ribbon on top of your illustrious career, but also you find somebody who's one of the best in his field. Jake Paul isn't one of the best in his field. It's like you fighting a YouTuber. Like that's totally different, man. But and
a YouTuber whose only test against any remotely, not even a good boxer, an average boxer, an unproven average boxer, he lost.
Right.
He fought one boxer, he lost.
How you doing,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
good to see you,
anybody believes that, I don't know. I
Listen,
had to get on and rant about it a little bit.
We got to get your take on a few things before you wrap up. But I do want to say this, man. Like again, I said it earlier.
What's up, brother?
You can justify getting a bag for anything, and we quick to do that. You know, often where it's like, where they offer them this. Now, see, here's the problem with that argument for Tank Davis when you talking about, oh, he's going to get the bag. Brother, either you telling me the truth or you lying. A couple of years ago, you told me that you had a contract that marveled Floyd Mayweather's contract when he signed a deal with Showtime. That's what you said.
There you go. So
also, Tank, they're saying that he's making so much money in these other fights. You shouldn't have to do these circus fights in order to get a bag because whoever you fight should be a bag for you. So it's either you not making that money that you saying that you're making, something is up. So again, just be honest with me, and then I can be cool with it. Last thing I'm gonna say as far as this is concerned is Vale. I don't know if you're still there, good brother. Is this. As long as you've known Wilton Henry, what have I been saying about Tank Davis? And the reason why I'm saying that because you know, you my guy, Sugar Shane. But man, I snuffed this out about this dude so long ago. Like it was, and my boy Vale, I love him to death. But Vale kept, well, it's his team. It's this right here. It's not Tank. No, it can't, because you get to a certain point where it's like you call the shots. it's like what I said about Vail a couple of weeks ago too. Is the fact that Vail, in Detroit, he's so powerful. Like people don't know. Like he gets on here, he's real humble. That one time he told somebody he was going to put a bullet through the phone because he called the shots. But anyway, Vail, the point that I'm trying to make is this: is that what was I saying about Tank, man? Like from the giddy up. I don't know if Vail's still there. He having trouble with us. He got that Wi-Fi, man. He's coming in from dang on Flint. He got that Flint Wi-Fi again. But anyway, Shane, what we do want to ask you is this. First and foremost, our show disclaimer, like what are we talking about? Our show runner, I should say, is Jermell Charlo's comeback. And he's calling out everybody. What are your thoughts on Mel calling out the big names at 154 pounds?
Ooh, I don't know if that's the best idea. I mean, I can't. Who else is he calling out? Boots, Crawford.
So he's calling out Boots, Crawford. Yeah. Obviously, the Crawford fight wouldn't happen because I don't know what Crawford's going to do after this one. Ortiz. He's calling out Virgil Ortiz. He's calling out Errol Spence. He's calling out, I want to say Fandora as well. I could be wrong.
Oh, that's, man, like, even though he's not even, even though Fandora is not the best boxer in the world, it presents a lot of problems, like.
Yeah, especially coming off a 2 year.
That's even a rough fight. Like that's a hard fight. Like honestly, it's a hard fight for anybody. Even if it's a winnable fight for him, it's still a hard fight. Man, he can't beat any of these guys. I don't think. I think Virgil Ortiz would run over him. I mean,
so
I respect it.
But let me ask you this then. So Mel made a nice little run at 154 pounds, right?
Yeah.
So his run that he made, do you think that he would have been able to make that run with this crop of 154-pound fighters, like with the Madri Moss, with the Murtazalievs, with the Ortizes and people like that, Fondoras, you know what I'm saying? No,
not at all.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay. My man.
Killers, man.
All right, Vail, you back?
Yeah, man. I don't be threatening people, threatening to put bullets in people, man. I don't be doing all that stuff, man. Don't put that out there.
But it's all good though. You put it in the chat as far as what your thoughts about Tank.
I was wrong, man. I admit I was wrong. I've said it plenty of times. And I used to say, yeah, I think it was his team because you have people choosing these fights and you have people saying different things. But then it was funny because Floyd Mayweather was saying it at first, but then he changed too. Floyd was like, "Hey, you gotta fight these dudes." and then we learned the truth that it was kind of like Tank got a lot to say in this, and we're seeing it now because now he don't have a Floyd Mayweather or a lot of these guys. He's the boss, and he's making these moves, and he's making the decision to fight a Jake Paul, a YouTuber, as you say, not even a good circus, a bad circus at that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, it's crazy, man, that we have gotten to this point. I think that Floyd got to a point where it's like, okay, we making money, but at the same time, this is starting to get out of hand. Where people are saying Tank is all this and all that. Like, no, he really ain't fought anybody. Like, we got him to this point, but he still got to, earn his keep. You know what I mean, to a certain degree, because Floyd did it. Like, then they all did it from the past. And I think Floyd was one of the last ones from that club. And he learned a lot from his predecessors. And so he used everything that he learned. And he was one of the last Mohicans to put on or whatever. Last thing, man, before we go ahead and end this thing, man, because we've been on here for a while. Shout out to the British African-American, man. That was a good conversation. Boots. As far as Boots, we had a lengthy discussion about whether the sparring that he has with Canelo, how do you see it in terms of the pros and cons of him sparring with Canelo?
I see it as a plus. I mean, I can't really see any negative from it. I mean,
you getting that work in.
Iron sharpens iron, like that. Like, I mean, like in spar, you're talking like 40%. So, like, I mean, you know, iron sharpens iron. I don't see nothing wrong with it.
Shout out the Boots then, man, for getting that work in against Canelo. Anything else, Shane, that you want to rant about, or anything that you want to discuss?
Yeah, just put it out here like this. This is the same as like how you stated about some people's content creators, some people's talking boxing. So today, like what this sets a precedent for people coming up in the game is this whole concept of, if I beat enough people legitimately, I can build this name, as in say you're Ryan Garcia or something, right?
Right.
Now I don't have to. I can fight Jake Paul. I can fight Logan. I can fight this guy. I don't have to fight a real fighter anymore.
Yeah, we already there.
It's a dangerous precedent of a circus, and like it makes a mockery of the sport.
Yeah, we there, bro, and that's the reason why I try so hard not to support that stuff, man.
No, you said last week you were gonna watch it. You're gonna be right there, trying to see the signs.
We ain't trying to put it out there like too much information, because I ain't trying to get charged or anything. But I didn't say I was supporting it. I said I might watch it. I didn't tell you how I was watching it.
It's on Netflix, but let's keep going though, Sean. You were correct.
Yeah, so like if like I say, if friggin' somebody's head gets chopped off and it rolls down the hill right here, like I'm gonna watch it. I can't help it. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be everywhere. It's gonna be stuck out there like a sore thumb where you can't help but talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, it just like I did not think it would get that far. Like this is bad. Like this is really bad.
It is, and that's the reason why I said earlier that it's going to make the sport not even something that is looked at like the other sports, because they are based on competitiveness. See, other sports, like yesterday, I was intrigued because I didn't know how, when they start putting all of the big schools in the same conference, I didn't know how that was going to play out, because part of me was like, dang, traditionally you got these different conferences, and if I see a team play another team, it's like only how I would see that is if the bowl situation allowed it to happen.
Yeah.
But to be able to see like LSU play against Clemson, to be able to see yesterday Texas playing Ohio State. I lived in Texas for 14 years. I've never seen it. Not the first game of Ohio State and Texas, but the way college football is set up now, it's the competitive nature. It's the competitive spirit. So when I go down to a little sports bar that I go to, people in there, they glued to the screens because of what? The competition. See, when you start, no other sport, I don't see nobody that's the elite athlete or the marquee guy in their sport. The ultimate goal is to challenge somebody who's not even on their level. I don't know Messi. Messi's not Messi because he did that. You don't have Ronaldo being that because LeBron is not that because he messed around and played a ball player who, no, that's not the reason. And so you losing the fabric, the cloth, and boxing is the ultimate sport because, like I said before, human nature allows people who want to get things off their chest, they can't get along, they might want to go ahead and get busy with one another. But you got guys who are trained and skilled at that, and they are able to get paid off of that. Your best athletes, your best people in any area of activity are going to be the people who want to do it anyway. Even if I wasn't getting paid, I still want to go ahead and box. I still want to go ahead and sing. Still want to go ahead and dance. You just happen to be paying me for something that I love. That's why I really am intrigued by this young man, Moses Atama, because he says that. That's one of the only younger guys that I see, and he's not saying it because he's saying it to sell something or sell himself. He's just answering questions. He said that he's been fighting since he was like 9 or something like that. He said, if I'm not in the gym, if I'm not doing like physical activity, something just doesn't feel right. Yes, sir. You got a fan now because that's what you love to do regardless. You just so happen to be getting paid. He's like, man, some people, like, their dream is to fight in these stadiums. So like, my thing is I just want to get in there and fight somebody. Like, I don't care. That's what I'm saying, man. And we missing that. And Tank Davis.
Let's be honest, like you take somebody like, say, Robert Garcia. He lost in that one fight where they took it, you know, like where they tried to get him another trainer or whatever. He busted his ass to get that rematch. You know, he's hungry. He wants that rematch because he got to go out there and prove something. Tank showed he ain't got that in him. You know, right. I mean? Like, he doesn't have that simple pride to get out there, or he's just afraid he would lose it. I don't know.
He said that before, that he's scared, like going viral or something. But you can see it. It's a couple things about Tank that you see, man. Like, when he gets hit, he does, like, I mean, nobody likes to get hit, but some people get hit, and that really charges them up. You know what I'm saying? Or that refocuses them, and they don't show that being disturbed like he does in the reluctance. And the fact that Lamont Roach is willing to exchange with him, also the fact that Lamont Roach isn't scared of him, couple that with the fact that if you come at me, I'm coming right back at you, that dang on Mobb Deep mentality.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about too.
You don't like that,
right
man.
Back at you.
Yeah, he doesn't like that. And so, like I said, the bigger overarching problem here is this is a dude you cherry pick. Like, and so I heard Sheldon say earlier that Tank was telling us that this dude is tougher than y'all think, but we didn't ask for this. We want to see a fight against Shakur. We want to see a fight against Devin Haney. We want to see a fight against Loma back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want to see those fights. We want to see a fight against Tevin Farmer. We want to see a fight against Gary Rose. But you telling us he's one, and Boots is doing the same thing. Like I said, you might have a person like right behind him who's going to do the same thing. And he is doing the same thing up to this point where they are reluctant on taking on people who want them. You know what I'm saying? Like, the ultimate call-out. If you that dude, imagine somebody telling Shakur Stevenson that he outside of Keyshawn, that's a whole nother thing. But everybody else, if they say, man, I'll whoop Shakur, like, Shakur ain't, what is Shakur gonna do?
Fight him.
He gonna want to fight. He gonna want to fight. Like, most of those guys, they're gonna be like, man, this dude can't mess with me. Like, sign a fight. Don't talk about it, be about it. But this dude right here, he always plays it off that he's too cool for school. And then he'll finally give you somebody that he's telling you why the fight is supposed to be a good fight. Oh, he can do this. No, I know what the dude can do. Can you fight him, sir? Like, the next best guy up. But he doesn't do that, man. And that's the claw. That's the heart of somebody that you want to support. But the fans are allowing this sort of thing. But like I say, more importantly than anything else, is when I saw those. Matter of fact, I'm gonna call names out, man, because it's that real. I saw Zab Judah, who I respect. I saw who I respect. I saw them saying, and then Jay Leon Love, I know that kind of can tell he might be on that type of thing because he was helping Jake Paul in the past. But when I seen them two supporting that, I'm like, come on, y'all. Y'all can't do y'all do some of the reasons why the fondest moments I had watching boxing was because of you, the heart that y'all had.
Yeah.
And then y'all gonna go ahead and do that. It hurt me to hear that. But anyway, man, anything else, man, that you want to say? Because we got to get up off here. It's Labor Day weekend. I got to,
Yeah, we're good, man. My thing about to burn up over here, so it's getting too hot.
Yeah, nice to see you, Shane, man.
Appreciate you, Trey. Yes, sir. 2:00 every Sunday, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, peace. Vale, and we're gonna end you, man, on a hip hop question. All right.
Okay. All right.
Get you up out of here, man. Well, let me go back real quick because this is September 13th, 14. You know what I'm saying? Get him a little nap. Go and get some good sleep. And that's Bud, man. The 14th, that's gonna be his record.
Hey, just for Bud, in celebration of Bud's win, I'm gonna watch me some Cosby Show and watch that kid Bud on there.
Well, you're gonna act like he smoked a good bit of bud, and you're gonna be nice and sleepy. But anywho, man, my question is this right here, man.
I fell in hip hop with the first time I heard Run DMC. Run DMC.
When did you hear that?
It had to be like 1985, maybe. You know.
Wow.
It was that year. It was them, and then it was Dougie Fresh the Show. Because
you made 1985.
Yeah, 1985. Because
you said 95.
No, 85. Because then they had the show, and I remember, well, Dougie Fresh had the show with the Get Fresh crew, and I remember, you know, because I was a big Inspector Gadget fan, and you know, as a kid, it had that tune, and I was like, oh wow. Then you had, you know, Run DMC had the, you know what I'm saying, the rock box, Sucker MCs and
Sucker MCs.
Yeah. So I was just like, man, what is this stuff? And you know, you had the older generation, they were like, man, they just yelling at us through the mic. And me, I was just addicted to it, just loving it. That was one of the first, you know, points that I was like, oh, okay. That second point came in 87, 88 when I heard I Ain't No Joke by Rakim. I was like, whoa, this dude is dope. And I'm like a 7-year-old kid, man. I'm listening to this stuff, watch the video. I'm like, and you don't understand hip hop as much, but you're like, man, something about this, man, is just dope, man. You know.
Yeah. You mentioned a lot. So for me, it was mine was Sugar Hill.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, Sugar Hill, that Rapper's Delight came out, and I had my brother, my oldest brother. He has a lot of albums. I mean, all albums. Like he was a collector. So that came out, and then what they called me to do, I don't know how I got a hold of like Funky 4+1 and all of them. Like, so afterwards, I started listening to the other stuff. Now, I never really looked at African Bambaataa and them as hip hop like that. You know, like the Soul Sonic Force and all that type of stuff. It was out, but I thought that was more like disco-ish to me.
Yeah, like techno, disco.
Yeah. So, but I was listening to that, and then you had Grandmaster Flash with the Message and all of that. Like that was coming out too. But I wasn't just, as soon as I heard Rappers Delight, then Apache, jump on it, jump.
Yeah.
You know what
God is born with a state of mind, blind to the ways of mankind. I was like, oh.
Yeah, so that was jumping off during that time. So that was my love. But I started seeing the different eras of hip hop, and we had a brief discussion, you and I, text message wise, as far as like the different genres to me within hip hop. You made a good point where they should break it down as far as like the different types of hip hop. Because when I listen to, you mentioned a couple things. So the Sugar Hill and those guys, like they was like one syllable type rappers. So then when Random came out, that was kind of like a moment for me. And the reason why that was so big is because Random wasn't wearing that crazy stuff that those other rappers were wearing. They were still like 1-2 syllable, but they had a little bit more substance to what they were saying. DMC was the microphone controller, you know what I'm saying? Devastated mic controller. So DMC was cold in comparison to the other guys, right? And Random was hard. You know what I'm saying? Like the B-boy stands and all of that.
They're from the streets, man.
It was from the streets. It was different than Jam Master Jay whipping, you know, cutting it up. So that was like a little bit different. So I'm still in love with this thing. And then what you mentioned, see, Rod, when I started hearing him and Big Daddy had the, you know, he'll say like something, a word, and then he'll say a different word several different times. He building on the stuff that he said. So he was doing that. But then Rod changed the game to me because he was more conversational and he can say stuff and have multiple syllables within what he's saying. Then he got some underlying meaning type stuff to what he's saying. So that blew my mind. And them dudes was hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll go to the park and stuff like that, and you will have all of the dudes who have money, they bumping, this is the R. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that stuff would be out, right? And then, again, like when you got the 94 with the guys who came in that way with the Nas's and Biggies and Pox and all of them. So, yeah, man, I fell in love then. I'm saying all that to say to this question right here, though, Bill. Is this one of the crews, and we're gonna have to do one day, just the underrated guys in hip hop. And so we're having a conversation. So when I was listening to them this weekend, I'm like, for one, this dude hard, and they don't even give him credit for being hard. Then two, his subject matter and substance to what he's saying. Who do you think I'm talking about? We were talking about yesterday. Guru, man. Like, out of these right here, man, I'll listen to these CDs. See if you can rank these right here, man.
Oh, this is so hard because they all dope. Like, they all, like, I actually own every single one of these albums. They're all dope. Like, I can play each one of them. And it's hard to, I'm going to do this, but it's hard to rank them because each one is like my favorite in some way. They got things about it, you know. Hey, I'm going to lead in and just say this statement. I know where you're going to get on you about it, but I'll even say that even the worst album, the number 4 album on this list, I ain't even say the worst album. The number 4 album on this list is still dope. I just gotta say that.
No, it is.
So I'm gonna say Moment of Truth.
Oh,
you know what? I'm gonna go in the order that it is. I'm going in the order that it is. The only part I have question that's interesting is between Hard to Earn and Daily Operation. So Moment of Truth is dope because I feel like that was Guru's lyrical apex, and Premier was already established, and he was already that guy as far as producing, where guys would go to him. He was that guy. But I feel like they took it to the next level, and they didn't disappoint. I mean, Moment of Truth just had like, I remember being tons of songs too. There's a bunch of songs, and everyone was dope. Like, we coming at a time where
is that your favorite or is that your worst? Is that the worst one?
My favorite.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Now,
and you have 20 albums. I mean, you had 20 songs on the album, right? And this is a time where folks will come out with double albums. And to me, this is my opinion because folks will be loving these double albums. To me, you know, it would have some fillers and some songs I just don't like. Moment of Truth, you would have 20 songs, dude. You could have put more on there and made it a double album. I can still play it all the way through, and I would love the beats, the rhymes, everything. Even the song Moment of Truth, when he's talking about some things that got into, really scarred my mental. My pops didn't want to hear it because what I've been through. I'm like, that stuff is like, it resonates with me. And plus you had Inspector Deck on there, all these guests. You had Scarface on there. Guru doing a song with Scarface in 1998. Dope to me, man. Dope. Hard to Earn. That was like I feel like it's even the longer this time moves, the more underrated I think this album is, because this to me is like even though neither of these guys are from New York, this is like the quintessential New York album in 1994. Like when you had the Nas and Jay with the Damages and Biggie, I feel like this album was just it stood on that pedestal. You know what I'm saying? It was dope. It had the beats, the rhymes, everything. It had Guru getting a more. He always had a street edge, but it was more of a street edge. And he was saying something, man, you know, mass appeal, like folks selling out, all that. Just dope. You know, we talked about yesterday. Suckers need bodyguards, challenging rappers, tons of guns, you know what I'm saying? Must be the voice, like, you know what I'm saying? Even though Guru's a dope lyricist, he's like, hey, my voice reels you in.
F around, lay around, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Dude's just dope. Now You're Mine, you know what I'm saying?
You ain't even mentioned a Nice and Smooth track.
Yeah, Nice and Thwick. Do what you can, kid. You know what I'm saying? Then you had Now You Mine, which actually he was dissing. I heard a rumor he was dissing Premier in that song. Like he went in the booth and spit it and was looking at Premier the whole time. And they was fighting. They had an issue or something. You know what I'm saying? But then you had Daily Operation. You know what I'm saying? I think that was meant to have Dwick on it, but it didn't. That was a dope album too, man. You know what I'm saying? It had Take It Personal. You know what I'm saying?
So you saying they got better? Like it just kept getting better and better.
It kept getting better, even though a lot of folks, I think, you see, at the time that Step in the Arena and Daily Operations was released, I wasn't really indulged. I listened to hip hop, wasn't indulging in that much. But Hard to Earn, I was indulged in it. So I had to go back and listen to Daily Operations. So I wasn't around during the time. So a lot of folks love those two albums, and they will hate on Hard to Earn and Moment of Truth for some odd reason. Daily Operation was dope too, you know what I'm saying? Because it was, if you ever listen to Step in the Arena, it was progression. And Step in the Arena was just, you know what I'm saying, beats, the rhymes, love sick, you know what I'm saying? Can't take the weight, you know what I'm saying? They were saying something, and they had dope beats to go with it, you know what I'm saying? And that's why Gangstar just they're very underrated too, man. Because it's almost like I never look at them as like one of my favorite groups, but when I look at them, their body of work in totality, they're very consistent. They are one of my favorite groups, and it's sad that, you know what I'm saying, the two of them just at the end they really didn't see eye to eye, man. It's almost like I feel similar how I feel about Pete Rock and CL Smooth not seeing eye to eye when they could have made so much more good music together. I feel like Guru and Premier, man, they made something that was just timeless. I know I ran it, but I had to vent on that though.
No, I agree with you. I think that is the order, and they did get better. With the exception, I think that Hard to Earn and Moment of Truth, I think they hand in hand, because Hard to Earn has some bangers on there, like those classics that they got on there. That, you know, they might have a song or two on there that I don't listen to as much. And like you said, Moment of Truth just has every song on there I listen to. There's nothing that I skip. But as far as the depth of the classics, like you got that Mass Appeal, man. Got that Dwick. But I ain't gonna belabor, because everything you said was on point. And you got to give it to Guru. That first Jazzmatazz damn near classic to me too.
Oh man, that second one too though with man, that got me. He had two joints on there that got me through some tough times, man. Too. I can't remember the titles of them though, but they were like struggle songs.
Yeah,
one was Nobody Knows. Yeah, I don't remember that one. Got me through some real tough times. They had this, and of course there was another song in there, but then the third song, of course, the one with Shaka Khan, like Watch What You Say. You know what I'm saying? Dude was just dope, man. Kind of ahead of his time, man. He was doing songs with like jazz musicians and stuff like that, and it's kind of sad that he doesn't get the credit that he deserves, and he don't get mentioned among the most insightful MCs, man. It's very sad. But shout out to you, Guru, man. Rest in paradise.
Yes, sir. The thing with him, and again, not to belabor, is that you had, so he was kind of caught in between like the Big and Pac and all that type of stuff. Then you have the influx of the 94s, like the Nas's and all of those guys. So they kind of always stay. Then keep in mind, on the West Coast, you got like the Snoops and Dre's, and then you got like the Too Shorts and all that. So it's a lot of more, and all of them dudes had, to a certain degree, enough substance about them. Like in this day and age, they'll be too lyrical. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah. Snoop would be Snoop, Dre, even Dre, like, you know what I'm saying, with
Ring Ding Dong.
Yeah, backing them, killing folks out here.
Yeah, man. So it was too much. And it was too much, you know, like good quality stuff that was out there that people gravitated to. He still then, keep in mind, he still had the KRS-Ones and stuff like that who was dropping, you know, during that time too. So they get lost in the sauce. But as far as would you rank them in the top 10 as far as duos of all time?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
I only have to listen to think that they belong in there somewhere.
They do. That's some quality stuff that they were producing, man. But Vale, let's go ahead and wrap this one up, man. Hopefully you enjoyed. You don't have to go to work tomorrow, right?
I don't.
Okay. Yeah. Hopefully you get a chance to spend. And shout out to the Cowboys, man. You ain't going to the Super Bowl anytime soon.
That's the only part that I'm kind of like happy about. But at the same time, man, it just makes our division so much harder, dude. Well, mine.
But they're still gonna sharpen steel, though. You know what I'm saying? So you come out of there and then
you good. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing I like the most about our division, that it is rough. Like folks be like, man, this team sucks. I like it because we'll win the division, but it don't get you prepared for those teams you're gonna face, man. When you face them real championship teams in the playoffs and the Super Bowl, a lot of folks don't be ready. They win a division, but they beating all these weak teams, man. If you're gonna win it, you gotta earn it. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this question on the way out, and I know it's about that time, but being a Detroit fan, and understanding like the climate in that region, and I know as far as going to a game, you would prefer a dome, but would you prefer Detroit to not be a dome team? Because sometimes your schedule, even though it's you're out there in the cold region, if you're a dome team, it still makes it challenging when you're not playing in a dome in a cold climate. Would you prefer for your team to be like more of an outdoor team? Because a lot of times,
yes, like the Bills, you know what I'm saying? Where folks come there, you gotta be ready. And for me as a fan, no, but I don't live there now. So, but for me as a fan, I don't want to go in there to snow and get snowed on. But for the team, yes, because it gives you that much advantage.
It does, man, and that's what we used to always bank on, is the toughness of somebody coming in who's either a dome team or a warm weather team. You got to come through Lambeau. You know what I'm saying? Are you going to be physically and emotionally tough enough to deal with the frozen tundra? You know what I'm saying? And that kind of gives you an edge. And also gives you an edge if you do play in a warmer climate, then you good there too. That's like a vacation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? To be able to play out and something like that. But yeah, man, close us out though, Vale, man. Certainly appreciate you. Good episode. Shout out to Black African, American or Black. What was his name?
This question, man, we touch on this anytime. We might have to do a whole other episode for hip hop or something, man.
Oh yeah, no. We'll get that. We'll get to that. That's too much, man.
Yeah, so shout out to all the folks that that came through, man. Shout out to Shane. Was it African American, British?
Yeah.
Hopefully I didn't.
Yeah, you do that.
Shout out to you, man.
A lot of times you do that to them because you call them blokes and all time.
No, I don't. That's you. But dope, man. Yeah, man. Hit us up anytime, man. Shout out to Shane and Shelton. Shout out to I thought I saw Ty in the comment section.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to him, man. Always doing great work, man. Shout out to Adam. You know what I'm saying? So all the listeners, man, if you're not on here, always should be shoot us a comment if you want when we record, man. Always like to hear your comments. Shout out to you if we didn't see you or mention your name. So, and shout out to my guy Will, man, always putting it down. So.
Yes, sir. Hit the like and sub. You see that? That's the Aaron Rodgers right there. But we all good though. Shout out to Pittsburgh, for getting him when he long in the tooth. That's a whole nother conversation, man. But again, appreciate you, Vale. Have a good rest of your Labor Day weekend. And we out. Peace.
Peace.
Yes, sir.